Good evening. Good evening, Twitch audience.
Hello, James.
Hi, James's mum.
How do you know?
I have Twitch open. I have two screens.
Oh my god.
I have Twitch open. I have two screens.
Oh wow. Oh my god. Right. Let me spam this all over social media while I introduce today's session. Welcome back to the Dysfunctionals, a game of Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. And I hope that you're well and that your preparations for the Christmas season are also well, going well for you. Cool. A couple of announcements before we begin this evening. The first being, I've pieced together a few tidbits of like informational media about the lore of the campaign into about a 10-minute sort of video, and I'm gonna we're gonna trial taking a break in the middle of today's session, and hopefully, you know, that will help us keep our energy levels high, and it will give you guys something to watch as well. I've compiled a bunch of artwork that these guys have done of their characters and each other's characters, and I think it's really cool, and I hope that you enjoy it. Stream see a battle map. Fantastic. I will switch that back. Thank you, mate. Anyway, cool. So, other than that, trialing a break in the middle of this episode. Does anyone else have anything else? No?
No.
Let's play D&D!
We're all gonna die.
I've enjoyed playing Eirys. It was fun.
I can't help you.
It was
Just
fun.
don't be seen. You'll be fine.
Yeah. And now I present to you the Dungeon Master killing the players with the Dysfunctionals.
Hooray!
No.
Oh, I love cinnamon. Thanks. Appreciate it.
We're back.
We're back. Thank you. The insanity that goes on during the credits that you will never know.
James's mum.
Yes. Hello, Mum. You don't know that this exists. Anyway, last time, the Dysfunctionals made a plan as to how they were going to stealthily make their way into the city of Shrine, looking for their companion Arthrin's cousin, head of the Trinstone Guard, Captain Anya, who has been kidnapped by a shadowy organization known as the Syndicate. Having made their way into town through various means, disguises, stealthy movements, piggybacking on Yell's back with a freaking fake goggle binoculars going on.
Hand goggles.
Yeah, hand goggles. That binoculars are now hand.
They work.
They work.
Yeah. Visual perception.
They are functional, or should I say, dysfunctional.
We're hilarious.
I'm going to cry myself to sleep. You guys made your way through the day, making your way to the Wretched Flask Tavern, meeting up with Kylan, Eirys' companion, retired knight of the Ufalian Empire, his contact Slip, who has been monitoring the movements of this syndicate organization. Slip told Kylan about a Maureen, who Kylan immediately took a kind of stoic expression and immediately resolved to go and find her, because apparently she is in potential danger. In the meantime, you guys decided to break up into two groups. Eirys and Kyro, you followed Kylan to the hotel where Maureen is staying to watch over him and make sure he's safe. And the others settled down for a night's rest in the Wretched Flask Tavern. Now, as Eirys and Kyro were watching over Kylan, everything was quiet until flying down from the roof of the hotel onto the smaller building below, on which Eirys and Kyro were resting and keeping watch, hit Kyro for massive damage. At this point, I would like everyone to roll initiative. And I mean everyone.
Okay.
Carry on.
Oh, okay.
Everybody. Everybody.
Oh, which dice?
Everybody was not part of the deal.
Everybody.
Okay,
We're rolling for dreams.
We are.
Phew, I did okay.
Yale's going to take all the psychic damage.
Oh yeah, nat 20, so 19.
Okay.
So 19.
How'd you do?
How am I going to do this?
I rolled
How do you
a
want to do
6.
You ready?
Just have a record of your number, guys, and just listen in. At roughly the same time as Kyro is struck with the poison-laced arrow of this mysterious, shadowy figure on the roof of the hotel, the others of you have taken your night's rest and are either in the process of sleeping, or, if your name is Yell, already in a deep, deep sleep. Brüz, you got to bed last because of your late night wanderings through the streets of town, making your way back to the hotel. But you make your way to your bed. You're sharing a room with Nuru, Yell, and Ella, obviously. I ship it, Yell, they're in the same room. There's a deafening explosion and the splintering of wood in the Wretched Flask Tavern. All of you start awake from the sound. Yell, you recognize it to be a thunder wave spell. You guys watch and see. Let me just move the camera here. Everybody see this? Here we go. You guys watch and see. This is the second story of the Wretched Flask Tavern. You're in your respective rooms, having just opened your eyes and swung your legs over your beds. You kind of glance out of your bedroom door and you see the figure of dagger wielding or short swords wielding, short bow in the back, heavy cured black leather armor, and a mask over the face obscuring his vision of an assassin. And you see splintering around the remnants of the walls of this room, the detritus of a bed and a cupboard and a door just having hurled its way in. There's a piece of wood lodged in the wall of Yell and Ella's room from the force of the explosion, lying there, kind of rolling around. You can see slips kind of standing in amongst the ruins, the fragments of this shattered room, a spell book open, arcane energy kind of rising from it, as if he's just casted a spell, and a deep wound in his side that he's clasping, gasping for breath, barely up. At the same time, I'm going to try and run this simultaneously. We'll take one turn at the tavern, and we'll take one turn at the hotel. So please add your initiative rolls to the turn order.
Okay.
Hopefully this will work over multiple screens. The way I'm intending to do this is...
I think it does work over multiple screens, yeah.
I hope so. Add your initiative roll.
There will be one initiative box, but it does work over multiple screens.
Okay, great. That's perfect. We're going to play one turn in one location and one turn in the other, and we'll see how this goes. Nuru, what was your roll?
It was 6.
6.
Pop it in.
Okay. Swords descending.
Hold on.
There we go.
Logging in, sorry.
My little character guy's not in there yet.
Okay, that's all right.
I think it's still not on the map.
Just bear with me. Meanwhile, in another part of town...
Oh boy.
Oh, yeah. Kyro, Eirys,
Yay.
mysterious, shadowy lad who is going to have the same turn on the roll as his friend, because they are lads.
Cool.
Thank you very much. So, what we'll do is we'll pick it up from Kyro and Eirys. You guys have just been... Kyro, you've just been shot at. You can see the shadowy figure having just released an arrow. Kyro, you're first to react to that. What are you going to do?
First, as far as this map is concerned, which one is Kaylin's window?
Kylan's window.
Right,
is,
Kylan.
This building here, you can see it rises up. It's double.
Oh, really?
It's double the height of the roof that you're currently stood on.
Awesome.
So he's at.
Then I know what I'm doing.
This guy is on the roof of the whole building, but it towers over you. The arrow shot from down. He has the high ground, as Obi-Wan would say.
Oh no, that's fine.
You can make out a bunch of windows. You don't know which one belongs to Kylan's room, but you remember.
Yeah, I do.
You remember it was on the second story.
No, yeah, you told me which one it was, right?
We saw the lady outside. Oh, Eirys did, I don't know.
All right,
Okay.
whatever. I'll guess.
Eirys,
It's fine.
I'm guessing, Eirys, you would have told Kyro which floor it was on. These are large rooms. You're
I think
okay.
I think
Yeah.
Kyro asked Kylan when he came out as well.
okay.
It doesn't actually matter that much.
What are you
I'm
gonna
going to rip out, on the off chance that there's still poison on this arrow, I'm going to take it out of me and shoot it back at the assassin.
Oh, damn.
Okay. Roll to hit.
That's
Damn.
badass.
Let's see.
With its
90.
own arrow.
I mean, ideally. $24.
First roll. I'll take the first roll because you didn't have advantage on it. He's standing where.
Oh,
he is.
no, I mean, like, does my assassin, like, does my feature not work because he had a surprise round, or?
Yeah, in essence, he's gone first because he had that surprise round.
Okay, my bad.
So it's
All right.
it's impossible to activate that feature. But that first roll
Okay, that's fine.
does hit. So roll damage.
All right.
He's gonna make a con save, guys.
Yay! It was poisoned.
He makes it. So,
Well, he still takes some damage, right?
I'm gonna give you that. That's a bit of ingenuity. I'm gonna let you take half as much as this. 5, 6, 7, 8.
I mean, that, yeah.
He'll
I
take
mean,
an
it depends on the
additional-
poison.
He'll take an additional 5 points of poison damage. Wait.
Yeah.
Nope, he's resistant to poison. He'll take 2.
So
Whatever.
He's resistant
also
to
put your
poison.
blood
Makes
in
sense.
his wound.
What's
What is
the
he?
damage of your arrow? It's just a regular
He's
damage roll.
+4. Yeah, it's fine.
Why is he resistant to poison?
Cause he's a poisoner. He probably gets high on his
He
own
doses
supply.
himself.
Yeah,
He drinks it.
that's all fine and good. 8 damage.
Okay.
And now
You see that arrow make an impact, and the guy at there, he wasn't expecting a fire back so quickly, and he looks surprised. But he can't take.
was
it
he
strong yet.
surprised?
He looks.
Nah, it's okay. I'm kidding.
He's got the assassin feature, so not surprised. Thematic,
It's fine. Yeah, I got
in the
you.
rules.
As surprised as he can be.
And now I'm
He's taken
gonna.
aback at the quick response. Yeah.
Yeah, now I'm gonna like
Taking it back.
just go over the edge of the building.
You're just gonna
And
just hang yourself back over the edge of the building.
no, I can just walk down. Well, I'm gonna jump and then I'm gonna
Oh.
land on the wall.
But with your shoes of spider climb.
Hell yeah.
Yep, that's
He can't shoot what he can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, arrows can't go through walls.
He's you are out of his
Break
sight.
those sight lines.
He takes the
Yeah.
arrow and he watches as you just slide down the kind of slate, kind of slanted roof here, of which this line up here is the top. A little kind of.
Oh wait,
line
I
up through.
forgot.
And you
I
just run
forgot
over
to
the edge.
do something.
What?
Yeah.
What do you want
On
to
my
do?
way, as I'm running, I'm also gonna like use my action surge and I'm gonna just shoot a window on the second floor.
Oh hell! Roll to hit.
Yeah, I mean it's a window,
Yeah. Roll
but
to hit.
yeah. Okay. 12.
12. It's a
Kind of a
static-
window.
It's a static target. The arrow hits. You hear the
Yay.
shattering of glass as the arrow impacts, and a couple of surprise voices echoing from the inside. That'll
Alright.
attract attention. Eirys.
Can I use bonus action to hide?
Yes.
All right. 21.
You believe yourself to be hidden.
Sweet.
Eirys.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot an arrow at him, or try to.
Oh,
You are still hidden from the end of last session, so take advantage. He does not see you.
Okay. Let's move this over here. +7, 22.
22 hits. Take that sneak
Okay.
attack damage, Mother Hubbard.
Oh, good. Oh, there's so many ones. That's of the 4 dice I rolled. That's 3 ones. Oh, okay. 4, 5, 6, 7. Add 4, 11 damage.
11.
Oh, I'm so angry about that.
Oh, that's not much, given how many
No.
dice you just rolled. Okay. He's again two arrows have pierced the front of his armor, one of which he didn't see coming at all. Yeah, he's taken a couple of hits there. What are you gonna do now?
For my movement, can I get off the roof down into this bit? So hopefully I'll be covered by the building.
So you're gonna climb yourself down.
Yeah, or acrobatics down.
Make an acrobatics check, my friend.
Throw away all
It
the
is good
rubbish
to
dice.
see you again, Eirys. Make an acrobatics check.
That's like the third 15 I've rolled.
15.
Acrobatics +7, so 22 again.
You can position yourself wherever you like. You are out of his line of sight. That's your
Maybe down
movement. I game-wise, in order to gain stealth, like sneak attack, you need to be hidden.
I didn't.
She has a
use-
bonus action.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't used my bonus action.
Yeah.
Yes, I would like to hide, please.
I'll let you do it. I know, Kyro, you've already you've very much hidden yourself, but I'll give Eirys and in the future Kyro advantage when he can't physically see where you are.
Thank you.
Because there's a whole building between you and him, so it's easy to.
Me.
28.
You know, you're fairly sure. Like, as sure as you can. You've rolled a few of these checks in your time. You're fairly sure you got this one. You can never be 100%. But, you know, FTSE 100 is going to stay within 80%. Let's carry on. Cool. The guy at the top takes the 2 arrows, sees both of you disappear, and is going to do the same.
Yeah.
Just bear with me. Your passive perceptions, please.
19.
14.
19. That's bloody good. But it's not good enough, as he disappears. So, that is the end of that first turn there. Meanwhile, at the Wretched Flask Tavern, you guys watch, you kind of see you hear the splinters. Each of you are going to take your turns one at a time. Brüz is first to go. What are you going to do?
Brüz, having heard this, will peer out into the corridor. What does he see when he looks like just pokes his head around?
Yep.
Just an eye out into the
see-
corridor to see what's going on.
You look out of the door on the left-hand side. The door, thankfully, opens in the other direction. You poke out. You can see one of the rooms has just been completely blasted apart, and actually there's a hole in the roof, and the kind of cold night air is blowing in. It's lucky that it's overcast, but it's not raining yet, so there's no water kind of flowing in. But you can see Slip kind of holding his side, and looking around, it's like, oh fuck. He's been really badly hurt. He's been stabbed in his.
Is that friend?
Actually,
that friend or foe? That
s-
injured individual.
Slip you were talking to earlier today. He was the contact that Kylan had, the halfling.
Yep.
And you can see lying amidst the detritus, blasted away from him and sprawled out over the floor, the body of another assassin, or a mysterious masked stranger with 2 short swords, one in each of his hands, lying on the ground, crackling with some thunderous energy, having just taken this attack.
Does he look unconscious, or is he?
No, he's conscious.
Knocked over.
It seems like any moment he's going to jump up and run back in towards this target. What are you going to do?
Okay. Brüz will cast his duplicitous self into the end of the room there with the with Slip.
What's the range?
Range on duplicity.
That's fine. You'll be within.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
you.
I think it's like 60 feet or something.
Duplicitous
But yeah,
self.
so just over near Slip, who's
Yeah.
the injured fellow,
Yeah, sure.
and then sort of walks in, gives a concerned nod to Slip, and the duplicitous self holds his hand up and he casts level 1 healing word.
Okay, it's a
Is it
D8
bonus
plus your wisdom.
I thought it was a D6 one.
Healing word or cure wounds, sorry.
Healing word, because cure
Okay.
wounds is an action, whereas healing word is a bonus
D4.
action.
It's a D4, thank you. Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Yeah. So I had a D4 there a second ago. Yep.
I misheard.
Hey, that's a 3. So 3 plus
Your
4.
wisdom.
So
Okay.
that's 7. 7 healing for Slip.
He looks to be in a better state, but he's still the wound is deep. You can see actually as you heal, there's a line of blackish green liquid that starts flowing out of the wound. It doesn't really close up all that much, but you seem to be removing some kind of poison.
Okay.
Your action.
And then Brüz himself.
Yep.
Is going to try and so if the assassin has been is watching Slip and the duplicity, he's going to just sneak himself out to like the other side of the corridor, just so we can still see down the corridor, but so he's not in the doorway blocking things. So just somewhere that he can sort of slip out and just gotta keep an eye on, but be
around this
out of the
point
way.
the corner. I mean,
that would be perfect.
You can roll the stealth check to maintain yourself being hidden. Go for it.
And my stealth is always a -1, which is fabulous. So that makes it 16.
16.
Yeah, roll the 17.
You believe yourself to be hidden. Okay. That's you.
Yep.
Slip takes the healing energy. He kind of goes, oh, that's fucking better. He kind of opens his spellbook, which he has in one hand, to another page, and 3 small light globules go shum, 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 around his body, and all 4 simultaneously impact the body of the prone assassin as he casts magic missile at 2nd level.
Whoa.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plus 4, 14. The target takes 14 points of force damage, and Slip uses a 2nd level spell. Okay. Yeah. He kind of like he sort of just moves back and he's like, "Oh God, if anyone's awake, fucking help me." That's actually, what was he gonna do? Yeah, he's gonna stay there. Cool. The rogue is going to stand up with half of his movement. He's going to have that taken off him, and he's going to walk up. He's going to take one look at you, Brüz. He takes 1 attack action against you, against your duplicitous self. Goes through.
Brüz's duplicitous self will fold his arms and shake his head sternly.
Goes up to Slip. It's like, that is 12 plus 6, 18. Slip uses his reaction to cast Shield, and Brüz, you watch as, yes, arcane energy just suddenly flies around his form as the second blast of the short sword, swing of the short sword goes, and is deflected off. Using his non-dominant hand, this assassin was less effective on that attack, and Slip was able to deflect it by meeting the attack's roll with that additional armor class. Slip is... Guys, it's a miracle.
He's scrappy.
Slip shouldn't be alive. Ella, what is your turn?
Hello. Okay. Can Ella peer out the door? Not come out of it completely, but can she just poke her head around?
Yep. She sees what I've described.
Cool. So she sees the assassin Slip and what she thinks is Brüz.
Yeah. The duplicitous self takes the resemblance of Brüz. Yeah.
Okay. Would she have heard Slip shout out?
Yeah. Slip loudly yelled, "If you're awake, fucking help me."
Okay. And she can see Slip is hurt.
Yes. There's a strange greenish black liquid kind of rolling down his side. His right hand is pressed on a wound on his right hand side, and there's a mixture of blood and poison seeping through his fingers.
He's clearly hurt.
Does she attack the rogue or does she... That's the question.
What are you going to do?
Don't worry about, like, I'll get the rogue on my turn. Like, I can't heal. You heal.
That's what I'm thinking. You guys can do quite a bit of damage, so... I will heal Slip.
Okay.
What have I got? It's not burning hands, that's the wrong thing.
Yeah, set fire to it all!
Set him on fire.
Oh god.
Okay, I will do... healing word at 2nd level.
2d4 plus your wisdom. You're starting at 2nd level. Oh, Arby, can you help me out with this life cleric stuff?
It'll be... I I know my numbers. It's fine.
Oh, okay, great. Wisdom plus an
She's a
extra 2.
professional.
Oh,
If you like that.
fantastic!
Yeah.
8. Plus thing, which is 8. 14 points.
14.
Mm-hmm.
That is a lot for a healing word. That does a considerable amount of healing, and Slip looks, instead of just panicked now as the healing energy surrounds him, he kind of looks around as light kind of coalesces around his form and floods into the wound, and it glows, light and emanates from between his fingers. He looks up at the assassin just like, "You're fucked now, son." He looks much better. That's your bonus action. Anything else?
I can't cast another thing, can I?
You can cast a cantrip on your action.
Ooh.
If you cast a bonus, if you cast a bonus action spell, you can cast a cantrip.
Alrighty then, let's do a cantrip on the rogue.
What's it going to be?
Let's do Ray of Frost.
Make a spell attack.
Oh, ah! Dice rolling off the table. Okay. 18.
18. Roll damage.
Ah, yes. Do 6.
6 points of
I
cold
can't. It's
damage.
a
And
20
here, cold
feet.
boy. That lowers his movement speed, correct?
I believe so. Ray of Frost, that's what I cast, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
See?
Yeah, its speed is reduced by 10 feet until the start of your next turn.
Fantastic. That'll have a bearing. That's your turn. You want to move anywhere else, or
Nope, I am staying right there.
leaning around the door frame? Yell, you're looking up from your bed. You see Ella do that. There's a wodge of wood that's blasted through the door above the kind of wall above your bed, and you'd look up like, oh no. And in the meantime, Nuru.
All right. She will shift into a panther now
Oh, okay.
because
What size beast is that?
medium.
Okay, well, I don't need to make it any.
It's
more, so-
perfectly the right size to be running through the halls.
Yeah, you kind of, Brüz, you just watched bursting out of the doorway of your room. A
A freaking panther.
bolting its way down, closing the gap. I guess you're going to run straight at this guy.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna bite him.
Make that attack at advantage.
Just suddenly panther.
Yep.
And advantage.
How'd you do? add your stuff to it.
Okay, hold on.
Oh god.
It's 8.
8 with advantage.
Yes.
Why are you so bad?
I rolled a 4 and a 2, and I have a +4.
So you guys watch
It was
as
very bad.
Nuru shifts into a panther and dragging himself. So you slide through all of the detritus and you pounce, and it's just as the ray of frost spell has hit the surface of this bandit, and your claws grasp upon icy cold, and you reflexively jump back.
Well, my teeth. I was trying to bite him,
That's your action.
which is worse, but
Okay, you got yourself some extra hit points though, so that's all right. Yell.
I just rolled all my dice.
Welcome to
This
the
went
game.
horribly. I wanted to get 5d6 out and dropped all my dice.
Oh, I think I know what you're doing.
I don't.
Right, 5 to go there. I can't remember how to do things. So 5,
Click.
10, 15,
Yeah.
20, 25, 30.
Yeah. But listen, the line I've drawn here for the wall, it's not there anymore. The wall's been completely
Oh,
smashed to pieces.
so I can just run through that bit and then
you
get
can just
to...
you can just run through everything. It's fine.
Cool.
The room has been
Which
completely
case-
destroyed by the Thunderwave spell. It was second level. It's wrecked everything.
In which case, for my action,
Yes.
I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers at 3rd level.
Okay. It's wisdom save. What's the DC?
15.
13.
15.
Oh, 15. That's good because he
Yeah.
rolled 13. So Dissonant
So
Witness
he
takes
takes the
effect
full damage, and he has to run his full movement away from me.
on his next turn. All right.
No, he has to use his reaction. So he has to do it now, and everybody's surrounding him.
Everyone take an attack of opportunity.
Yeah!
Oh, that's good, that's good, that's good. That's 22 points of psychic damage.
53.
that is good.
Okay, yeah. That does damage. He uses his reaction and he runs 5.
I'm going to use my reaction to get an opportunity
Wait,
attack.
I get attack of opportunity.
We all do.
Yep.
Slip is going to be like, oh fuck yes, and he's going to swing out with his fist. He doesn't have anything else in his hands.
Nice.
He gets out his book and slaps him.
Oh my god, he hits. Slip hits with his fist, dealing 1 hit point of damage.
Good job.
Every little bit helps.
What's the hit from Yell? Sorry.
19 plus 5, so 20. Oh no, that plus 6.
Yep.
25.
Roll damage,
To
my
hit.
friend.
Good lord.
Then that's an 8 plus 5, whatever math is.
13.
Math, difficult, stress. 13, thank you.
Looks like I do this for a living. Nuru,
Math teachers got
your panther form sees the opportunity as he stumbles across over you.
Okay, does a 16 hit?
It does roll damage. That makes
Alright. I bite him on the leg, and that does 4 damage.
Okay. He's just taken absolutely... Yeah, he's taken... There's rends across his body, there's cold energy against him that's crumbling off. Ella, as he's stumbling past you, you see one of his fingers snap off of his hand under the cold. And he's just rent with wounds from Yell's weapon, through Slip's spells, and through the claws of Nuru's panther form.
Teeth, but...
Wow. That's that. Meanwhile, in another part of town, Kyro.
Good. Well, I wasn't planning on really doing much else after that, so I'm still alive, so that's good. I'm going to use my second wind.
Okay.
Get some
so
HP.
That's a D10 plus your con, right?
Yep.
Okay. So as you're standing there, believing yourself to be hidden, you roll the dice. How much do you heal?
1d10 plus 2. So I'll go ahead and roll that. Roll 8. Well, 10. So that's pretty
neat.
good.
Yep. So you kind of like, as you're out of harm's way, you just kind of focus on your body's natural energy, the adrenaline coursing through your system, and find a way to sustain yourself.
And I think I'm gonna try to move around the building stealthily to get in this general area. I don't know how long that'll take because it sort of cuts off there, but
Yeah, it does. I probably should have anticipated that you want to go that way. I'm going to say the building doesn't go on for much longer than that.
yeah.
If you've used an action, right,
I used a bonus action.
to heal.
Yeah.
I'm going to say you can use your bonus action to dash and basically sprint around the edge of the building, which will end up with you ending up on this square here.
Okay. Am I able to stay hidden?
Having dashed, you don't know.
I really want to stay hidden, so I'll go slower if I need to.
Okay, so what's going to happen is you're going to end up on the far side of the building. If I just place you, let's say there, and you just move around to the corner of the building, which goes an additional 10 feet or so in this direction. You get to the corner, you look around, you see it's clear, you're making your way around more quietly. Make a stealth check with advantage,
Okay.
because you're out of his line of sight.
You got it. 24.
Okay, you believe yourself to be hidden. Eirys.
Okay. Okay. I would like to see if I can. I'd like to climb up the side of the building again.
Yeah.
But not like jumping right onto the top. Just kind of like hanging on to the edge at the top if I can.
Okay. Yeah.
And for my bonus action, I'd like to try and spot him.
Cool. Is a perception check something you can use as a bonus? I'm going to let that happen. Yeah, go for it.
I think it's part of my. I'm just double checking. I think it's my
Roguish
eye for
audacity.
detail. You can use a bonus action to make a perception check to spot a hidden creature or object.
Go for it.
Nice.
That's part of my thing. Okay.
Inquisitors, man.
Yep.
Natural 20.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Just bear with me. Got to change the layer view.
Wow.
You get the sense of where he is through looking at shadows and subtle movements that wouldn't occur to many other people. You see that he's lying down prone on this section of the roof. He makes his way over to the right hand side, as you can see, because that's where you disappeared to. He's lied down and he's crawled over here in an attempt to see you. He doesn't seem to have noticed you successfully yet. So
Okay. How much of my movement did I spend to get to the top of the building?
Oh, like 10 feet?
10. Okay, I will like to shimmy my way. 10, 15, 20, 25. Can I climb up and try and stay out of sight on the other thingy of the roof? I can't
behind
remember.
that, it's like a weather vane.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you roll acrobatics to see if you can get over there, because climbing, you don't have a climbing speed, so you would be at half movement speed as you're climbing.
Okay. Okay. Acrobatics.
Yep.
16.
I'm going to say that you've got to that weather vane, still grasping onto the to the edge of the roof. Don't really have enough time in your turn to push yourself back up and try to hide. You think that you're kind of hidden. You're hanging over the edge of the roof.
Is that including my action
You've used your movement
and bonus
and bonus
action?
You can use your action to hide.
Okay, I'll let you use your action to hide.
Okay, I'll do that. Just hanging around. Dirty 20.
Okay. You believe yourself to be hidden.
So
Yay.
Stealthy McStealth boy. Eirys, you're able to see the movements of him crawling up to the edge of the roof and looking up and over. Is he going to meet your... Oh, hell. Perception.
roll low.
He looks up and around. Kyro's out of sight, but he makes eye contact with you.
Fuck.
No.
And I think... Yeah. That'll be his turn. He's used his action to
Find you.
what's he going to do?
Go home.
Yeah,
Stand up?
In
He's
essence,
going to
in
have a
essence,
little exclamation point.
He's moved across to the edge of the roof. He's looked over. He's used his turn to look around, and he spotted you. I think that's his turn. He can't do anything else. That's annoying.
I'll have a
He's
bonus action.
getting ready for a cowboy fall.
I've got a bit of a question when you have
Yeah.
time.
Your passive perception is what, Eirys?
19.
19. He spots you and disappears again. You're right. He is a rogue. He'd have been able to take a stealth action on
Why did I speak up?
his turn. Cool. Sorry, what was that, Megan?
The shouting of the window. Does it
Yes.
seem to have gotten anyone's attention? I mean, there was shouting
I'm gonna say,
inside.
yeah,
so-
yeah, there was definitely shouting inside, and Eirys, you'd have been able to pick this up with your passive perception. The sound of Kylan's voice from within. Oh my goodness!
Good.
And a female's voice who you don't recognize, just like, Kylan, what's going on? I'll be right back. Shing. Doof, 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 doof.
Yay.
No.
Cool. Meanwhile, at another part of town. First act is Brüz.
All right, so Brüz is going to now cast a spiritual weapon as a
Yes.
bonus action.
Yep.
Now I've popped it up into our chat channel. A little I actually have a custom homemade miniature
Oh my god, that's so cool.
for this spiritual weapon. Brüz's spiritual weapon is a goat's skull sitting atop a
Neat.
thick wooden staff, and it just sort of floats as it moves.
Bless you.
Okay.
So the spiritual weapon appears right in front of the assassin,
Yeah.
and then as an attack roll.
Go for it.
What's that? It's +7, so it's 11 plus 7 is 18 to hit.
18 hits. Roll the damage.
Okay. We have a 1d8. Oh, well, that's disappointing. That's 6 total damage.
6 total damage. Okay.
Yeah,
Whomp.
I rolled a 2.
Okay. No problem. Oh, does it work?
But it goes whomp.
Yeah.
Just whomp.
It cracks down over the skull of this fleeing bandit. There it is. Crack, and the bandit. You know, a couple of moments ago, Snip was looking like he was the one who was going to collapse, and it's now looking
No, it's
like
this guy.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Slip kind of like looks up and around, is like, "Oh, thanks, lads." 5, 10, 15, 20. Bring that stuff to the front, man. Yeah. He looks up. Oh, how's he? Yeah. He's gonna hold up his spell book again. And he is going to cast Sleep. Looking at how bedraggled the creature is in front of us, he's gonna cast Sleep. 5d8. 8, 12, 16, 17, 18, 19, 24. Yeah, that does it. There's a burst
Nice.
of light. Does anyone have less than 11 hit points around this immediate space?
No,
Nope.
Brüz is fine.
None of
I
them
have
pay yet,
13.
except for
I think
Slip.
Slip's the concern in this regard.
Oh yeah, that's
Well, I
Yeah.
have 13 because I'm a panther.
He's not going to cast sleep on himself, so.
yeah.
that'll be fine.
There's a burst of light from immediately where this mysterious assassin is standing, and he collapses into a magically enchanted sleep. He looks around. He looks around at all of you and goes, "We've got 1 minute. What's the plan?"
Tie him up in oysters.
Yeah.
Tie him up. You got any rope?
Fuck, do I-
Hell yeah, y'all got rope.
Okay.
You got adventure packs.
I'm checking my equipment
You got
and
rope, come on.
Okay.
I'm
In
probably
essence,
bro.
to
You
be
do,
honest,
right there.
like
Oh yeah, yeah, I have rope.
Slips brought this to this combat really to an end because you guys wailed on this guy so harder than I thought you would. So yeah, I'm going to say that for the next 60 seconds, you guys bustle around. A rope is quickly procured from one of your rooms, and he's like moved against this wall up here, gagged, and yeah, the spiritual weapon hovers over him menacingly. That'll be where we leave you guys for the time being. Well done. Bear with me. This is a new idea. Obviously, I needed to make that harder for you. In the meantime,
I like what's happening.
Kyro.
I think you've made it plenty hard. We're good. Alright. So, yeah, I'm going to continue to make my way around the building.
Making my way down the
Stealthily.
building. Yep.
Yep.
You get around to the other side. You see Eirys kind of hanging on out of the line of sight of or apparently out of line of sight of this mysterious assassin.
That's not super great.
What are you going to do?
I'm hidden, right? Or at least I believe to be.
Moving around, you don't know whether or not you're hidden anymore because you've moved around the side of the building, so your position's
Okay.
changed.
Well, I'll use my bonus action to hide, and then can I prepare my action to shoot if I see the assassin?
You can do both of those things. Make a self check.
Yay. 19.
19. You believe yourself to be hidden. You position yourself. I'll say that you've got enough movement to
Do I still have advantage?
run around here. If you shoot from if you're hidden, if the enemy can't see you, you have advantage on the attack.
Right. No, I meant the stealth thing because I think you. I don't remember.
At this point,
Is that ongoing or no?
At this point, because of the line of sight from the top of the building here, it's potentially somewhere that can be seen. Whereas, like here or here, is completely out of the line of sight. The buildings.
Okay, I got you. Just making sure.
I hope that makes sense. Yeah, just keep on.
No, it's perfectly fine.
Cool.
I'm gonna keep an eye on the window and the entrance mostly.
Okay, sure. You get out your bow. You're standing sideways against a building, and you've got a drawn bow. Eirys.
As you said, I heard Kylan basically leave to come and join us. Eirys is going to pull herself up onto the roof rather than hanging there.
Okay.
And she's going to. You said there was a balcony about here. She's going to run, sprint, and jump to the balcony.
Okay. So, just describe that again. Sorry, I was momentarily distracted.
So she's going to pull herself up onto the roof. So like here.
Yeah, sure.
So it's got 5 or 10 if it's halved.
Yeah.
And then 15, 20, 25. I guess she'll use her bonus action dash.
Yeah, sure.
25, 30,
And you're going
35,
to try,
40.
are you going to try and jump into the window?
She's going to try, and you said there was a balcony that could be accessed from this building. She's going to try and jump onto that balcony.
There are plenty of alcoves that kind of have decorative gargoyles and statues kind of
Yep.
in and
Ultimately,
around.
our plan is to get on top of that roof. So
Yeah, okay. So make an acrobatics check.
Okay, good. What was it? 7? Yeah, 7. So 16 plus 7, so 23.
Yeah. So you're able to use your momentum to just swing your way into this onto this. It is a gargoyle statue, kind of rearing, claws bared, ugly face with a sneer, and you just grab onto its arms and you're there. I'm going to say the momentum kind of, you're able to kind of use it and just direct yourself up, swinging your way up another floor. You're going to end your turn basically 10 feet or so down from the rooftop.
Okay, that was with my movement and bonus action. I'm happy to use my action as well.
Okay, so I'm going to say with your action, you're going to climb your way up onto the top of the roof.
Okay, and I'm going to put my bow away. I'm going to pull out my rapier and my dagger, and that's my turn.
Okay. As you do this, you are going to see all of these different overlays, man. Having rolled several times up and around to try and stay out of where he knows you to be. Just a bit of description here. The roof is slanted, so that the kind of central sort of rectangle in the middle is the top, and that's level, and then it slants down on either side. I hope that's easy enough to imagine. So it slants down that way, it slants down that way.
So excited.
Yeah, I'm glad that you see it. Oh my god, excuse me. I'm never using freaking GM layer again. Cool. You see him lying down there. You just sweep up, and he looks momentarily. Actually, no, he looks focused as he sees, as in he's obviously caught a bead of you running across the roof and swinging yourself up, and he's moving as if to get up. That's what he does. He kind of swivels around onto his feet. Two short swords. What's he gonna? Wisdom check. He kind of twirls his head to one side and goes, "Eirys," and swings.
Huh?
You recognized her, that's all.
He swings with a single blow. It's 20.
This guy needs to die.
It's
Well-
22 to hit.
It hits, but I'm going to use Uncanny Dodge.
Okay, you need to make a con save, please.
Oh no.
5.
Oh, Con
Remember,
isn't
you also
great.
have luck, Eirys.
Not today, I don't.
Remember.
I'm
She
all
used
right.
it.
All right.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It's the end of the day.
Plus 0, so 10.
10.
Oh,
Okay,
No.
Uncanny
My
Uncanny
best.
Dodge is going to half this, which is good news for you. 5, 10, 23, 28 damage is halved to 14. It was 5 slashing, and then an additional 23 points of poison damage. All of it is halved because you have used Uncanny Dodge.
Am I considered poisoned, or is it just poison damage?
Nope, just poison damage.
Okay, good.
God.
That was one of his short swords. Now the other one.
Oh no!
No!
It is 14. Does that hit you?
No, it doesn't.
What's your armor class?
15. Just...
Oh my god. Okay. He carves across your body with the first strike, and you feel the poison entering your body. He swings with the second, almost triumphant glint in his eye, but you get out of the way of it. That's the end of his turn. Back at the top of the order, Kyro.
Oh boy, are we going back to the hotel? Oh wait, that's over. I forgot. Okay.
Yeah, the hotel
So-
combat is currently over. It's taken about a minute. This has only been 6 seconds, so we're still on you.
All right.
Thank you for your patience, everybody.
So
Hope you're having
I
fun.
can just get up onto the roof, right?
Essentially, to be honest, as he stood up and started wailing away at Eirys, I can let you take the attack. Actually, you've been holding a shot.
Yeah.
haven't you? Yeah.
Mhm.
Make an attack roll.
All right.
This is your reaction and your held actions, so this isn't your turn per se, but it's something that you're able to do.
Yeah.
Do they get sneak attack on this one?
I mean, I was hidden,
Engage
so
with Eirys?
unless he didn't hear me. Oh yeah, I get it anyway. 'cause
He's
he's
focused
engaged.
on Eirys because he's engaged. So what was the attack
Yay.
in total?
Who's getting engaged?
Got
Oh,
26.
wow. Yeah, there's an ally within 5 feet of him, so you get the sneak attack damage. So add those numbers up. my
Okay.
friend.
Me and this guy are engaged. That's how he knows me.
Jeez.
The wedding had been planned for next spring.
Aw,
We're just having a domestic. That's all.
how romantic.
13 points of damage.
A third arrow whizzes through the sky and lodges itself in the side of this mysterious stranger. As soon as he swung at you, Eirys, he takes the arrow shot. It is Kyro's turn. What would you like to do? You swing yourself up
Alright.
onto the top. That's 10 feet of movement.
Oh, excellent. That's perfect.
He is.
And
visible,
I will.
right? I'm gonna say actually because of the this building is like a couple of floors higher than this one. You'd have to move yourself probably to about here, which is up the slant of this roof because it slants down this way. So
Oh, okay.
this little line is like the highest point. You can totally move.
So go here.
If you move like up to here, you'd be able to see him
Alright.
where he stands. It will be a tricky
That's my full
shot,
movement.
but
Okay.
yep. In essence, you can just about see him. He's in combat with Eirys.
Yeah, I'll shoot at him again.
Go for it.
Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, I'll take 26.
26 hits. You get the sneak attack again because we went to the top of your order. That
Because
was
there's advantage.
yeah.
Yay.
We went to the top of the order on that on your turn. So you get basically immediately sneak attack followed by sneak attack. That's insane.
It's very nice, yes. 13 points of
13.
damage again.
Yep.
Then I'll use my bonus action to move.
Okay, you're gonna dash.
Which, yeah. Yep, I'll just get below the lip of the roof.
Okay, so you're gonna run across the shoes of spider climb, guys. It's freaking.
Yeah.
The
No, it's
game's
not.
broken!
It's magic. I'll
It
go
is.
over here, actually.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's Better.
It's not broken. You just have to give your enemies magic items.
Stop it!
Eirys.
DM tip.
Okay, I'm gonna attack him with my rapier, and then I want to do insightful fighting.
Go for it. He will make a deception check.
This is my rapier attack first.
Okay.
Actions 24 to hit.
Hits. The insightful fighting deception was a roll of 2. See if you can
I
beat
hit him
that.
for 6. So I'm gonna try real hard to beat that. And it's my insight dirty 20.
Yeah, you've got the number on him.
God damn it! I should have done it the other way around, but it's too late.
You should have done. It's a bit confusing that you didn't.
I just realised why.
Oh no.
Never
What?
mind. Because then I could have got the sneak attack damage on the attack rather than on my next.
Ah.
Well,
Never mind. Okay. Yeah. So he takes 6 points of damage.
Sure, yep.
And I have know his moves and his
Yeah.
weaknesses.
So he kind of you thrust you've thrust once with your rapier. He parries it with the short sword, but it does pierce through his armor on his left hand side. And as you do that movement, you kind of make eye contact with him. He looks up and he's like, "Yeah, I've heard about you." And he's going to swing again with his two short swords. Whoops! Drop the d20. First
Missed.
attack. 18.
Hits.
Okay, it's 7 points of piercing, and again another con save, please.
Oh, I knew I should roll the other one. 5.
Okay. You do have uncanny dodge. Probably a good idea
do,
to
but
use it.
Do I use it for this one or his next attack?
Good
But
question.
did you say he's got 2 short swords?
He does.
Something about the same. I'll do it on the next one.
You take 20 points of damage on top of the slashing damage from the short sword. So that's 7
how
and
much?
20 makes 27.
Oh, is it too late to use uncanny dodge now?
No, you can. I'm going to let you do that.
Yes, please.
It's moved down to
Okay.
13. He hacks through
I
into
don't think
you
it
again.
matters, but
You kind of balk and the skin that your skin is so pale usually, but even more so. He kind of looks up at you, goes, "I'm gonna fucking kill Eirys." He swings in again. That is the weirdest cock that I've ever seen in the middle of the.
Phrasing.
It was cock. It rolled into the middle of like the board.
You're
It's my
so
little-
lucky I was muted.
Yeah.
oh no.
It's a 12 to hit you.
No.
doesn't hit.
The way
Yay.
that he moves, you feel like you figured out how he moves his body. You weren't able to get out of the way of the first swing, but the second one, you just inch to the side. You feel the
He's over
coldness of the
confident.
air across your skin as he swings his blade, and in the wake of the blade is a thin trail of green liquid.
What?
Poison.
Poison, yeah.
Okay, top of your turn.
Oh, I'm not looking good.
But wow.
Kyro, it's your turn.
Oh boy. Okay. So yeah, I'll get back up and I'm going to shoot at him.
Go for it.
$22.
22 hits. Don't forget your sneak attack.
You got it. $15 points of damage.
15. Okay.
Mhm.
Ooh. Wow.
And let me see if I can do. How much regular movement did I use to get here? 10.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna dash,
Okay.
and I'm gonna get over there.
Okay, remember, this roof is 2 stories higher up from where you're currently standing, so it's going to take a while to climb to the top.
Okay. I'm gonna jump though. Is that gonna help?
Yeah, you can certainly try and vault across that gap between the 2 buildings.
Yeah. How much movement do I need to do it though? Because I have some left over from my movement.
Let me just take a look. You've moved to 10. I'm going to say you can use the rest of your movement to get to the edge and throw yourself off, and then the momentum of that movement will allow you to make an acrobatics check to grasp onto that side.
All right, let's do it.
Acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
Wow.
So I'm gonna just grab onto the roof and flip on top of it.
Yeah,
Boom.
you kind of fly across. You grab the arm of one of the statues and you just swing yourself like Agrippa style around, and then up. You fly through the air. You do a backflip and 3-point landing right there.
I'm gonna laugh.
Okay. Eirys. Immediately before you act, you hear a from far on the other side of this rooftop of a door slamming. and a running of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Kylan has smashed his way onto the rooftop. He is wearing plain clothes, and he's holding his greatsword.
Oh no!
No!
He's not in his armor. He's literally just run out of bed. He's just he's grabbed his sword and he's sprinted through the hotel to get to the roof.
Dude!
He'll be fine.
He's running over to you. He's used his turn there to actually fight her. He's going to action surge to dash again. 5, 10,
Yeah!
25, 30. He's closing in.
My worst nightmare.
Eirys! He's closing in. That's his turn.
Yeah, just announce her presence, thanks.
I mean, if this assassin moves, we get 2 attacks of op.
Oh, okay. She's gonna yell, "Stay away, Kylan!" And yeah, okay. She's going to. She's gonna stab this guy, I suppose, with a different dice what I've been using because they suck.
Okay.
Stab him good.
Okay.
Roll Regular.
Oh. Yeah. Regular.
Yep.
Okay. Even though Kira's engaged with.
He's
No,
not,
she has advantage.
he's not surrounded.
But
if you
I'm
had-
flanking. But I'm
Would I be
flanking
able to
him.
go 1, 2?
Yep, now you're flanking.
Okay,
And
good.
then I'm gonna attack it.
Roll with
Okay.
advantage.
Oh, I'm so glad I had advantage.
Yep.
Flanking.
+7, 24.
Roll damage. Don't forget your freaking sneak attack, you crazy lady.
Flanking is a girl's best friend.
Okay, roll better this time. That was better, yes, good. 17 plus 4.
21.
21 with my rapier.
Okay. How do you want to do this?
Yes,
I'm so
good.
glad.
Ugh.
I pretty much just want to behead the guy.
Okay. With the rapier, it's difficult. You just thrust forward
Oh,
and it
can I-
goes through
can I
his
just-
neck. And I'll say
Yeah,
that
can I
for
just stab it
fair-
through his throat?
Yeah, you just stab him through. Kyro from behind, as he kind of sees you, kind of just do the 3-point landing next to him. You look up, and from behind, bursting through his neck is the pointy end of Eirys's rapier that goes straight through the skull. And then for flair, you turn around and hack with the dagger, and the head falls off.
Nice.
The body falls and flumps down the slanted edge of this roof.
Yeah, we're gonna want to burn that.
You stop it with your leg. The head keeps on rolling.
Oh,
no,
that's not
I've got
good.
the head. I'm holding on to
Yeah.
it.
Oh, I see.
No,
you,
we're
you
not-
grab it before it falls.
This guy's not coming back.
No, he is most definitely not. A few moments of heavy panting go by, and running across the top of the bridge. The roof is Kylan. He's got nothing but like underclothes on, so just like almost like a one-piece sort of linen onesie of some kind, and like his great sword in his hands. He's practically dragging it behind him. He gets to where you are. It's like, oh, you're all right. Oh God,
What were you thinking? You are not prepared to fight like that.
what are you thinking? Look at you bleeding
I'm gonna
all
go
over.
check on your girl.
What?
Kara's gonna drop down and go to, like, make sure that there's no one creeping into that window.
Make so you're looking.
Yeah. I'm gonna make sure that the lady who's in that room isn't being attacked by someone while we're, like, distracted.
Perception check.
Alright. Because I'm pretty sure she's the target. I got a crit.
You look down. You see no evidence of any disturbance. I'm going to give you this as well,
That's good.
just to save a bit of time. You're able to climb down, and you look through the window, and you see evidence of disturbance amounting to an arrow lodged in the far wall that you fired, and shards of broken glass around the carpet and the kind of side windowsill of a very grand bedroom. And on the right-hand side against the wall is a 4-poster, beautiful, elegant bed, and standing there, doing up what appears to be a part dress, part sort of nighty sort of number, is a human woman. Looks up.
Alright, cool.
Not trying to be subtle about this, are you? So she'll look up and she'll go, "Ah,
No.
Who are you? Who are you?
I don't want to be mistaken for an assassin.
Are you
So
saying that
I
in
am
character?
trying.
Or?
No, out of character. I would like to. I don't want to be noticed if possible. If she knows me, that's fine. I'm just not trying to be.
I mean, you focused on what you can see, so
Okay, that's fair.
she kind of looks at you. She goes, "Who are you, Kylan?"
I'm with him.
Kylan kind of calls around the top of the roof. It's okay, Maureen. This one's with me. The danger's past. We're gonna come back down. Come on.
Grab that body.
I've while you were doing that, I've sat on the floor with my dagger, and this is really gross, but she's gonna like carve some generic symbol into the guy's forehead, like with her dagger, like I don't know, a circle with like a diagonal cross overlapping it or something,
Oh hell.
just to make it look like some weird like cult symbol or something.
Make a sleight of hand check.
So it's like a red herring.
Okay, she's not the best at art, you guys. Oh, I got +10. This is fine. 14.
Oh wow. Okay. Yep. You've used daggers enough. You've got like half a dozen of them strapped to your body in various places. You're able to freaking carve a pattern that, yeah, it's a circle and it's got a big X across that extends from the middle of the circle to the outside beyond the circumference.
Yeah.
Kylan kind of comes up behind you. What the hell what are you doing?
I'm trying to make it look like this was some standalone dumbass criminal trying to make his mark, leave
What?
his signature mark on some random corpse.
Why?
Because I don't want Kylan connected with this.
What? Why would he be connected with this? Isn't the
Because
Syndicate trying to kill Maureen?
Will you two just shut up and come inside? Come on.
All right.
He grabs both of your shoulders and moves down towards the bedroom.
I'll leave the head on the roof.
Okay, yeah. Are you taking the body with you?
No, I guess not. I guess we're leaving this body here. I really think we should destroy it, but okay, whatever.
Yeah, what's it?
He stops himself. He turns around. Oh, yeah, we shouldn't leave it here.
It's
Right.
fine, it'll feed the crows.
No.
No,
Any
he's
any
right.
evidence is
We're
bad.
taking this.
Let's take this with us and figure out what to do with it in a sec. He kind of like makes a strength check. Oh, okay, freaking 19, that'll do. He kind of heaves the body up, kind of turns around. He sees you beside the head, Eirys. He goes,
I'm gonna help Kylan carry the body.
"Yep." You both kind of maneuver the body around off of the more regal element of the roof, and when you guys, just bear with me. I'm gonna shortcut this stuff. I'm gonna turn off the music. Let's just change the music up to something a bit more quiet. Allow me to show you the inside of the hotel room.
What? Transformation.
Yeah,
Eirys like rolled her eyes and grabbed the head and stuffed it in her bag.
yeah, sure.
Good.
He takes you around. Just bear with us. There you go. There you go. Okay. He takes you around to a stairway through the door that's accessible on the far side of the roof. You make your way around to the a stairway that leads you to a number of doors leading into corridors. It seems every floor of this very grand and lavish hotel is a room. He smashes the door open with you, Kyro, with the body, and yeah, moves.
I'd be leading the way and just trying to check that the route is clear.
Yeah, perception check.
If I trust this dice. Oh, I don't trust this dice anymore. That was a natural 1.
Okay.
Don't kill
Plus
time
9.
frame.
Go away.
You're not able to tell necessarily whether or not there's anyone paying attention. Your passive perception is enough to pick up the sounds of people moving in the rooms that you're passing. And actually, as you're making your way across the roof, in fact, you're able to pick up the sounds of a couple of guards sort of moving around. You hear one whisper to another, "You're a window smash." "Yeah. Where was it? Come on." And they move their way around to the other side of the building relative to where you are.
late.
I tell
Right.
Kyro and Kylan.
Anyway.
All right.
Oh,
I want to avoid being seen in any case.
right, come on. He opens the Kylan opens the bedroom door, and you bundle inside with the body, and you see this this human woman, middle-aged, but with a kind of stern, authoritarian look. She kind of sees the body that you're dragging in, and her eyes widen. She goes, "Oh my goodness, Kylan, what the fuck? Maureen, I didn't know what to do. There was an assailant on the roof. These two obviously took care of it." He drops the body. These two obviously took care of it, but we need to figure out what to do with this.
You should probably say someone broke into your room and then tried to shank your friend and you killed her. Or him, or whatever. Sorry.
Kylan, was this person coming for me? I don't know, Maureen, but it's possible.
Who else would he have been coming for?
Kylan.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Doesn't make sense that somebody equipped with such weapons would be coming for me. It didn't. I don't suppose it matters who I keep this secret from now. When Vari came to see me at my home in Little Shade, she talked about there being a welcome, that they'd know where I was. He kind of turns around, he kind of moves towards the body, and he starts poking around in the pockets. And rolls
Carol glares suspiciously.
He kind of like... He doesn't appear to find anything. He takes the two short swords. He finds a couple of vials of, again, a blackish green liquid. He's like, armed to the teeth with poison. There's a crossbow.
I want to take
its
some.
back. You gain
Can I
two
have
Oh, okay.
And I have a second look over the body, if that's all right.
Yeah, make an investigation check.
Investigation. 16.
16. It beat his 7. You find that there is a note within the folds of his armor. Armor like this isn't dissimilar to yours, Eirys, and it's got lots of pockets, kinds of which that you know where to look because of the form that's on your person, and you do recover a note. It is in Thieves' Cant. Kylan sees you pick it up and open it. That symbol. He kind of takes a closer look at a wax seal that appears to have been broken on the note. I can't make out the seal. As you want to read it?
Yes, please.
Do you want to read it?
I do.
It reads in Thieves' Cant in a code that you know, but obviously an average passerby wouldn't. Kylan Sterncrest spotted walking through town nearby Vestige Square. Start there, locate his night's rest, investigate his personal effects, and ensure his safety until tomorrow morning. Return to the Arcanist's dungeon via hole 69B. Come sunup to report your findings.
Okay, I relay this to the group. And do I know from my, knowing about the syndicate and stuff, where that is?
Make a history check.
Okay. I didn't pay much attention in class, but can you imagine Eirys at school? 8.
8. With that roll, you'll know that there were codes given to entryways into the sewers that specifically led into where the syndicate was hiding. That much you remember. This obviously is a coded entryway that specifically relates to manhole covers into the sewers. As to the specific nature of where this one is, harder to answer.
Which one was it? 60...
69B.
69B.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them's the sex number, and then the other one is...
Nice. I'm gonna pop it in the Discord.
Oh, thank you.
There you go.
So it's real easy to remember. It's the sex number.
Thanks.
Meanwhile, by the time you've taken the body downstairs and done that investigation, the wretched flask, the minute passes, the assassin figure is tied up and leant against the wall. A figure comes up from downstairs wearing a Scrooge, Ebenezer Scrooge style sort of night dress and cap. Kind of looks up and down the stairs. Brüz, you hear him from behind you. Goes, "What the fuck's going on? Someone fucking destroying my bar."
I think you'll find this fellow on the floor is responsible for the damage.
Oh.
And Brüz
Yeah,
uses
you're welcome.
duplicitous stealth just before it vanishes, nods and points,
Okay.
and then vanishes.
Yeah.
Nuru is no longer a panther.
Yeah.
By
sure.
the way.
You jump back into your form. I'm calling the guards. He turns around with he's got a little candle on a candlestick and a little sort of holder, and he heads down and tramps back down the stairs.
Brüz halts him up and says, "Oh, just find a moment before you call anybody else. We might need to check to make sure there is nobody else around causing trouble."
Huh? What do you mean?
Well,
Yeah, he could have
if
friends.
this dark-clad fellow has snuck in, I suspect that you might want to check to make sure your belongings are all where they need to be.
Oh fuck! He kind of shuffles down.
And he goes,
stairs.
and I will contact authorities for you. You just make sure your things are okay.
Perception with persuasion with advantage.
Ooh. Roll persuasion for ages. Oh yeah, what's my persuasion? +3, that's 22.
22.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You seem to have this in hand. I'm just gonna go check my yeah. He kind of shuffles down the stairs. Okay. A reminder to mute if there's a lot of noise. Thanks. Cool. All right. So the minute passes and the assassin that's tied up in the corner sort of stirs from his rest.
During the minute,
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, go for it.
I'm going to have a quick look around to see if I can see Eirys or Kyro anywhere, as they didn't jump out.
I mean, no, they're not here. Neither's Arthrin,
Okay.
actually.
Oh, okay.
What?
Arthrin
It's
is-
a bandit.
I mean,
Arthur, no!
the force of the explosion destroyed this bedroom. Like, that was big. It was loud. It woke everybody up without exception.
Yeah, where is everyone?
It seems you guys were the only ones staying at this tavern, including and Slip.
Wait, where is Arthrin though?
He is one of the syndicate.
Okay, I am going to assume that they're all together then.
That makes sense.
And because it's fun, sending to Eirys.
Oh, no! Why? Why don't you send it to me?
Purely because I know it winds Eirys up.
Oh, jeez.
Wibbly wobbly timey wimey. This is going to happen while Eirys and the others are bundling the body down the stairs in the hotel.
Oh, even better.
So it's 20,
While they're trying to concentrate on things.
25 words, is that right?
25 words for sending.
Yeah.
Go for it.
We got one of your old buddies here. They're sleeping currently and tied up. Where the hell are you? And everyone else.
Okay. You hear that in your mind, Eirys.
Okay, I can think back. I don't have to say, do I?
Oh, good question. Bard, tell me the description of this guy.
Bard.
Bard, regale me!
Toss a coin to you.
Toss a coin to your witcher! Oh, there leaves plenty! Oh my god! I love it.
You send a short message, 25 words or less. The creature with which you are familiar. The creature hears the message in its mind, recognizes you as the sender if it knows you, and can answer in a like manner immediately. The spell.
Like manner means in the mind.
Okay, I agree with that. Yep.
You can send a message across any distance and even. even other planes of existence. Yeah, it doesn't say I have to actually speak it.
Yeah. So I'm going to say because you hear it on your mind, and it says you can respond in like manner. So yeah, you can reply in your mind. Good to know for the future.
Indeed.
I'm with
All you hear
Kyro.
is "get out of my head."
Broadview Chateau. We've been attacked. We're okay. Are they alive? Who else
Said he
is
was
missing?
sleeping in the rope.
So
I'm going to send back.
I don't have another third level spell
Oh no!
That's great.
because
She
I
did
use
say
the
where
third
they
level
were,
dissonant
though.
whispers. Yeah, that's
She
true.
did say Broadview Chateau.
So I'm going to announce to the group what I just did and how Eirys replied. Also mention out the fact she didn't say Arthrin was with them, and he's not here.
Ah, crap.
Also,
We investigate the
do you have
direction.
any third levels left?
Where Arthrin say he was staying?
Here with us.
As you say this,
Scruffy! Scruffy!
there's a sound of it as the assassin that's tied up against the bedroom wall comes to consciousness. The fuck.
Crack my knuckles. I just hey want to play a bit of good guard, bad guard?
What the fuck are you talking about?
I backhand him across the face.
Say
She's
again.
the bad guy.
So I backhanded him and
eye.
Anna pokes him in the eye. We both went for bad cop.
Make Ella make an unarmed melee attack with advantage.
I love them.
You just constantly hear in the background Nuru's just like going about the inn shouting, Scruffy!
Make an investigation check.
Why don't you ask your rat friends?
She's gonna ask the rat friends, yeah.
Okay.
That was. I rolled a 10.
A 10.
Yeah.
He
I rolled
sees
a 10.
he sees the poking finger coming towards and just jerks his head out of the way, and the finger hits the back wall.
Ow!
Stop trying to poke me in the eyes. Jesus.
Okay,
If you're going to kill me, just fucking do it.
Oh,
Her
we will
investigation
have
is
plenty
8.
of time. Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Say
No, you go ahead.
Investigation check. Sorry, Nuru.
It was an 8.
8.
Not very good.
You find no trace of Arthrin, but downstairs in a back room, you find the proprietor of the tavern desperately searching all of his drawers. You see him open up the bottom drawer of his bedside table and draw out a box. He opens it, gold reflects in his eyes. He's like, "Oh, thank God!" Closes it, looks at it. What are you looking at? Meanwhile, back upstairs. If you're going to kill me, just do it. This dishonorable spellcasting, it's not the way.
Oh, we have
Rude.
plenty of time to kill you, and I mean, spellcasting is, well, it's just as good as hitting you in the face, and I could do either.
You force
I
me
took
to.
him
I'd
in the
like to
stomach.
do either.
Poke me in the stomach. Okay, unarmed strike, advantage.
Poke him to death.
I rolled 19.
What's your strength modifier?
So much better.
But so dirty 20.
Dirty 20. So your strength
Nice.
is 20.
No. Oh no, sorry.
It's a +1 to the 19.
1.
20.
Yeah, to
Oh,
19.
I see. Okay, so you do 2 points of damage. It goes. You actually you move to poke with the finger, but you really hit him hard. And, you knock the wind out of him. He goes, and he leans forward and just because he's sat down, he's roughly your height. He just flumps into you unconscious.
Oh, guys. Oh. Oops.
Oh, you
I did not mean to do
bad
that.
copped a bit too hard.
Oh.
I
Oh,
pull his
I'm not good at
head,
this.
I pull his head back. Question. Can I force a healing word to roll a 1?
Has he been knocked
No.
unconscious?
Yeah. No,
Brüz,
I don't think you
Brüz
can.
just pats him on the head and casts spare the dying to make
okay.
sure he won't die in the
Yeah.
meantime.
He's
Okay.
he failed his first save, but he's not going to die.
Like, we'll just give him a moment. We'll wake him up again.
All right. In which case, Ella, love the tenacity with the bad guard. Do you know Zone of Truth?
I do, but I don't have it prepared.
Perfect. Go study your cantrips, young lady.
The
Brüz?
the D&D problems so much.
Brüz?
So I mean,
I know it, but I also did not have it prepared.
I mean,
He goes, I do have these from yesterday, and he pulls out one of the good berries and says, "This will hopefully bring him back when we need to talk to him again."
Good to know. Turn around
Sorry.
and look at any other magic casters here. Zone of Truth? Anyone?
I mean, we can keep him till tomorrow.
I really don't think that's a very good idea, my dear girl. I think.
I'll just keep poking him.
Listen, seriously, listen. This is a dangerous game that you've just stepped into. Stop making jokes.
Well, this is all I do with stress.
This is clearly an assassin of the Syndicate. We need to figure out what he knows and fucking kill him and have it done.
Well, how are we going to find out what he knows if we don't have zone of truth?
Fucking wake him up and just
I guess
improvise or
what?
something.
One thing to start, I'm going to remove his mask so that we can actually see his face.
Oh, good idea.
It is a drow.
Ooh,
Oh,
Ooh
That
idea.
makes sense.
Ella, how much light can you make?
how much light?
Hey, if you kill that guy, I could steal his...
Hang on.
You could
Hold on,
still.
edit.
Nobody
Oh,
knows.
sorry, let me
You
rephrase.
grow
How often
apart
can you
on
make
the
light?
surface.
I
You can
don't think I
recast.
can make it.
You can recast your light cantrip if you have one. Like
I don't
every
have
day.
light.
Oh, okay. Do you have dancing lights?
Nope.
Okay.
Does anybody have any spells that can make light?
Just
I mean-
I could have one.
Just
I
let me
do.
One
study my
ready for you
cantrips.
tomorrow.
I've got light. He kind of
Ah.
taps his.
I grab him by the shoulders and I love you.
Oh, stop it! The wound. I'm sorry. Oh, that fucking. Oh, the wound.
Someone should heal
I
her.
can cast light. He taps his spell book and says Lumos, and the light dispels from the book as its source.
Ah. Okay, so when he's awake and we're interrogating him, I'm gonna need you to flash that light really bright in his eyes. Really
Oh.
bright.
Oh, I think I can manage that. He says, still holding his right hand side, the wound not completely healed up.
Are you
Let me
still,
fix that a little bit, and I'll cast a healing word at first level.
Oh, I mean, there's no need. You cast the spell, roll the healing,
Yep.
the D4 plus charisma. Is that right?
Yeah, because I'm a bard. 7 points.
7 points. It is all but completely healed over now. He removes his hand. He kind of moves his midriff around. It's like, oh, fuck me, that's quite some power you lot have. I'm actually starting to understand why Kylan might have thought you'd be useful.
Is Slip still poisoned?
I feel fine. I mean, that wound cut deep. It really did. But I'm all right. I'm as good as new, basically.
Insight. Is he telling me the truth?
Yeah, make an insight check.
Ooh, dirty 20.
He has 1 hit point missing
Oh, okay.
out of 30.
But he's not poisoned.
He's not
Brüz,
poisoned in any
Brüz
way.
hands
Fab.
Brüz hands the good berry that he has to Slip. Goes, here, lad, take that, and then grabs another good berry out of his pocket and goes, "Are we waking this fellow now?"
In a little bit, Ella, do you have sending prepared to reply to Eirys?
Oh, I always have sending prepared to annoy Eirys.
Thank you. If you want to reply to Eirys with basically letting her know that Arthrin's not here, neither's Kyro. Oh no, she said she's with Kyro, that's fine. Arthrin's not here.
Okay.
We're wherever we're staying. I can't remember the name of it out of character. Something flagon?
Ragged
Wretched
Flagon?
flagon?
Wretched
The
Flagon.
Wretched Flask is the name.
Wretched flask,
Wretched
not flagon.
Flask.
What
So
a name.
this one's at the Wretched Flask. Attack slip. And how fine is fine.
Okay. 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 Right. Overcast. Sending.
Yep.
To Eirys.
It's 25 words. Eirys. By this point, I'm going to suggest we've caught up with you time-wise. So you've lumbered the body in, you found the note, you've read it, and then Ella's in your mind. What do you say, Ella?
Hello.
Hello, long pause.
Is Arthrin with you? How fine is fine? We have a syndicate person, Drow, at the wrecked flask.
That counts as one.
Don't forget to send all your love.
Oh! All the best and all my love! Love you! Mwah, mwah, mwah!
Eirys, you suddenly hear a storm of all the best and then the spell cuts out.
Ella hears a sigh.
A sigh and then a long pause.
Meanwhile, yeah.
I don't know. I do.
Let James know you have
Hold
something.
on, I need to count as
Okay.
Jodie, but Eirys is speaking.
That's fine.
I don't know where Arthrin is.
Mhm.
I'm on my way. Keep the Drow alive until I get there.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's a good point for me to jump over to the hotel room. So you receive that message, you return it. Kylan is kneeling over the body, same as you.
I relay all the information to everyone in the room about the other attack and that Arthrin's not there.
Oh my god!
Syndicate guy.
Maureen kind of pipes up. Oh my god! They attack Slip. It makes sense, Maureen. He's been spying on the Syndicate for a long time. They must have finally figured out who he was and where he was. I'm glad that your friends were there to help. He probably wouldn't have lasted long on his own.
I need to go. I don't think anybody will be sent after you again tonight.
Yeah, that makes sense. They'll wait until the morning and they'll figure something's not quite right because by the morning this one won't have returned.
That's why I wanted to make it look like it was. I wanted to set it up like it was a standalone murderer or something who did this, not anything to do with us or you.
You two had better get back to the Wretched Flask. I'll deal with the body. I think that I didn't understand what you were doing at the time, but carving that desecration into the skull might throw them off for long enough for us to set about our business and be out of town before they can trace it back to us. I think that was a good idea.
There's enough new criminals trying to work their way up. They tend to start off cocky and like to, leave a signature, try and get infamous,
Eirys. No tactless brigand would have been able to kill this man.
It's the best I've got.
It'll have to do. You both head back and I'll take the body back upstairs and do the best I can to clean up before morning.
I pull out the head and toss it to him.
How can you
At least crush the skull. Like,
He kind of holds up the skull, the head to you, and in the forehead has been carved Eirys' desecration. If we make out that this is the emblem of some kind of cult, then the Syndicate might be too busy worrying about that to actually find us. Crushing the skull wouldn't be very helpful in that regard.
I'm hoping it will distract
No,
them
what I'm-
momentarily.
No, like they have magicians, right? They might reanimate the head or something and question it.
That's a good point. Heard of that
Break
kind
its
of...
jaw. Remove its lower half of its jaw so it can't talk.
Hopefully it's not important enough for them to, like, actually resurrect.
How can you be so
I hold out my
straight-faced?
hand.
He kind of looks
Like-
at the skull and looks at your hand and hands it across.
And I use my knife and just, like, messily...
Yeah.
I try and do it over,
I mean,
like,
if you just
like
take the lower jaw off,
bathtub
it'll-
or something.
yeah.
Yeah, try and, like, hack off the lower jaw. I'm not strong, so I'm not going to try
It's
and,
good
like,
enough.
grog it.
I mean,
I'm gonna say that you've got enough time, no skill check required. You just completely wreck the lower half of the face, so that nose and below is just all over the place. Maureen
There
kind
you
of
go.
winces and doubles back and goes, "Oh, oh, that is foul. Oh, did you have to bring the body in here? This is gonna take a long time to clean up. We're gonna have to do the best that we can, Maureen. I'm sorry, I panicked. Wants to get out of the public into somewhere more private." Right. You'd better head back. Wish my best.
before all that, I would like to have compared the swords with my swords, just to see if there's anything different about them.
Make an investigation check.
Okay.
There's a raised hand as well.
Investigations. Dirty 20.
Yeah, you your blades are enchanted to cause more damage. These blades are not. But what they do have is grooves along the edges that apparently have been designed to siphon poison or some kind of liquid. You can see that
Nice.
amidst what you recognize as Eirys' blood along the blades lines. It seems this fighter has been specifically trained to swing in a way that connects the blood flow of the target with the lines that are along the blade, allowing this poisonous liquid to enter the system of the target. He appears, from what you can glean, he's been specifically trained in a fighting style that allows that to happen. You can attempt to emulate it yourself if you had any of the poison that this figure...
Oh, I do. I have the 2 vials that he had on
You
him,
do
right?
have 2 vials, and depending on how you choose to apply that, you could potentially be giving yourself that kind of poison damage. Which, just to make that clear to everybody, that was 7d6 on a failed con save.
That's quite good.
Ouch.
So you could potentially apply those to your own weapons, but
It's
because
special occasion
but
poison.
because your weapons have not been designed in the same way with these short swords are, it would only be for 1 hit, whereas these blades have been designed to kind of conjure the poisonous liquid to allow an entire combat to happen and gain access to that kind of damage.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that makes sense.
I'm gonna take both of the swords.
You certainly can. No one's going to stop you.
And do the arrows seem to have a similar design that lets them be good, or are they just arrows dipped in poison?
The quiver. He does have a crossbow, a light crossbow that you were shot by, and the quiver does have a small pocket at the bottom that has the liquid inside.
So these
Alright, I'm gonna
bolts
take
rather than
that
arrows.
too.
They are crossbow bolts.
Oh.
It's a light crossbow and crossbow bolts. It's not something that's on his back, this quiver. It's like a small pouch on the side that has small crossbow bolts. And at the bottom of this is like almost a separate sort of section with a bit of the liquid inside, such that if you push the point of the crossbow bolt into this second section, it covers it in the poisonous liquid, enabling... I mean, you could attempt to siphon some of that liquid out if you wanted, or you could take the crossbow and
Yeah, I'm just gonna take the crossbow. It's basically the same as mine, but better.
You got a short bow, correct?
I thought I had a crossbow.
I thought you had a short bow, if I remember correctly.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So,
I can still use a crossbow, though.
we'll take another look outside of game about what your proficiencies are. I think as a rogue...
Either way, I'm stealing
I
it.
know that Drow have hand crossbow proficiency.
You can just tell me after the game what I can use, but either way, I'm gonna steal
Yeah.
it. So,
For sure. At the very least, potentially very valuable.
did he have money on him?
Good point. 10 platinum.
Nice.
And
Wow.
The others in the other place
He was
would have
paid
found
well.
the 10 platinum on the body of the other as well. So
Wow.
10 platinum on this body and 10 platinum on the other body. The exact same amount, interestingly.
Cool.
We don't know that yet.
I wonder if that's suspicious. Maybe.
That's how much they pay for assassinations, I guess.
Oh.
A measly 100 gold. Gah.
There's probably
Maybe
this
it's
is probably
half-
just the
half the
upfront
full.
payment. Yeah.
Did Eirys find that when she was investigating the body, or did Kyro find it now?
Oh, what was your investigation roll? Excuse me.
16.
I'm gonna say yeah, because you hacked it in several places, so the pockets were open. And,
When
I don't know.
Kylan and Maureen seem kind of occupied, she'll
Yeah.
split it 50-50 with Kyro.
Okay.
That works for me.
5 platinum for Kyro, 5 platinum for Eirys. We'll deal with everybody else in a second. Is there any other business in the hotel, Kyro?
Do we need to move Kylan? It's Kylan, right?
Yes, it's Kylan.
Okay, good. Do Kylan and Maureen need to like go somewhere else, or are they just gonna stay here tonight?
Maybe he's gonna roll.
Like, I'm getting the impression that nowhere's safe in this city. Is that right?
I suppose we.
Really good.
I mean, yeah. If we could potentially be targeted here again tonight, Maureen kind of like furrows her brow. She goes, "I think you're right. Sorry, I don't." She looks at you, Kira. I don't know your name.
Kyro.
Kyro, I think you're wise. Maybe the best thing we can do is stay here and pretend as if nothing happened, and the Syndicate will eventually find this body, and they'll begin their investigation for this fake cult that... Sorry, again, you must...
Eirys.
Yes, Kylan mentioned you. It's good to meet you. I wish it was under better circumstances. I'm feeling backed into a corner. I've been doing my best to expose the Syndicate's lies and schemes and villainy, but it seems to be becoming more dangerous. I'll have to...
But you knew that, right?
I did. I suppose. I knew that this day would come. I'm just glad that there are people that I can rely on with me. She smiles at Kylan, he smiles back.
Do me a favor, Maureen.
Yes?
Never let that man out the room with his sword and no armor on.
Yeah, she could have been attacked while you were gone.
Well, sure, absolutely. Make an insight check, Eirys.
16.
16. She's hiding. She does not succeed. Yeah, from the... Like, you just glance her up and down and she kind of seems a bit flustered for a moment. And it's like... Oh, yeah, they were naked in bed together and she didn't have time to react before he just saw the window smash, glanced outside and hightailed it out of the room.
Yeah.
So we're lucky he had pants on.
Yeah, the next time you're in a room with someone who might be getting assassinated, stay next to that person and maybe put on your armor.
You're
You
no
know,
good to anybody without
Get ready.
armor, Kylan.
Yeah,
Listen, hindsight is 20/20. I understand that.
exactly. Yeah,
We'll
this
deal
is
with
for next time.
We'll deal with this body. Your priority is to head back, grab your companions, and hightail out of the flask and find somewhere else to hide out this evening. I will be fine
Okay.
here. You guys are potentially in more danger.
Yeah.
We'll let you know where we end up.
Understood.
Be safe.
You too. Grabs your arm as you turn to leave. Eirys,
What?
Put hand on sword.
you're cut up badly. Do
I'll
not
be fine.
do not throw yourself into such danger so quickly. Some of us care about whether you live or die. He lets go of your arm.
See you tomorrow, Kylan.
Get one of your companions to send me a message as to where you are.
I will.
Get out. Go on.
I go. Clutching my wounds. I am looking so bad, you guys.
Yep.
Then why do you say you're fine?
I'm gonna
Because
like
that's what she says.
I'm gonna like pull her aside at some point and like
Yeah, easy enough. You're making
give
your way
her
down
some
the stairs.
tape to, bandage herself.
Make a medicine check if you like. Do it with advantage, or each of you can do
Okay.
one each. It's up to you.
I mean, I guess I'll try.
You can do advantage.
Yeah.
This isn't necessary. I'm fine.
I crit.
Roll 1d4.
Okay. Oops.
1d4.
Sorry. Yeah, my bad.
Not 14d.
I'm not a doctor. 4.
You restore 4 hit points, Eirys. You are surprised as to how effectively Kyro is able to administer straps around the cuts on your body, and some of the pain does recede.
Oh no, I took that damage. Sorry.
No, don't do that.
Let's add
No, no.
8. There we go. I was like, oh no, I'm like dead.
For a
No.
moment, it was hurting, and you took 4 damage. Then you got 8 damage back.
That's how I heal people.
The wound.
Ow! 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 Oh, that feels better.
Yeah.
Great. You do feel considerably better. You're surprised. Almost as if Kyro's done this kind of thing before.
Thank you. Let's go.
I'm walking.
You guys make your way. Oh, do you want to go out of the front entrance?
We could just go out the
I'm assuming-
window.
The back of the way you came?
Yeah.
Out
We
the
could just go out the window. It's broken.
Okay. Okay, cool. You make your way through this into this room. You
Whatever
open-
way's fast.
You open up the door. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that figure of that child there. It's not actually there. That was. Hang on. Let me.
That's ominous.
There was a ghost.
There's a ghost. Oh god, you can punch ghosts.
No, I changed my plan and I forgot to remove the figure. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Cool. You get to the window, and actually, as you approach Eirys, you hear voices in the alley below.
I hold out my hand. Stop, Kyro.
Yeah, I'm not going forward.
You're
I'm
telling me
listening.
you got no idea about what smashed that window? You hear Arthrin's voice. No, I don't.
Oh, it's fucking Arthrin.
I have a theory, but I can't confirm it because I wasn't here when it happened. Listen, shady boys who stride around the streets. Up to no
He's
good.
shady.
Yeah, he's shady.
Oh, I'm gonna quickly go out the exit, like the main entrance. I'm gonna pull my cloak around me so to cover up the fact that I'm wounded and bandaged.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna,
So
like-
you're double back and running.
Hastily, yeah, basically, but not like.
Oh.
I suppose that kind of like when someone's holding the door open for you and you're not quite running, but you're like not quite walking. You're like.
I was gonna ask if you wanted a distraction.
I mean, in essence, it's going to take you several minutes to walk through this this floor of the hotel, down the corridor, down the main stairway, through out of the main entrance, and then around to this alleyway again. It's going to take you, if you were running, like a minute maybe. If you're like double dashing every turn.
Is there any window where I can drop out the side of the building, but not like down onto Arthrin and company?
I'm going to say there's one here.
Yes, I'll do that, please.
Make an acrobatics.
Alright, I'll
check.
just follow her out then.
Yeah, make an acrobatics check.
You got a
No, that one.
19.
19. Nailed it.
Natural 20.
You
Beautiful.
you
Second of the night.
you feel yourself falling through the air, and I'm gonna make some icons here. Where am I? There you go. A couple of guards. Throw them in here. You feel yourself falling through the air, and as you hit the ground, you do a forward roll, and you end up several feet forward. Kyro, almost as graceful, just you land at the base of the wall of the building. Yeah, you guys are at the side. At the alleyway turns around. Excuse me, just bear with me, guys. Thank you so much for your patience. That way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to walk up to Arthrin. Just casually strolling, cloak fully pulled around me, scarf down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hide.
Okay, make a stealth check.
And
you mean to tell me that you just happened to be here the same time we hear glass smashing?
Arthrin, my darling, there you are.
What? Oh, hey, Eirys, hi.
I was so worried about you. I heard that noise. Oh, I'm sorry. When those drunkards came along, I just ran.
Oh, he kind of takes a second.
Did you manage to brush them off? I was so worried.
I was fine. They managed to run in the opposite direction. They kept to the shadows, but these guys obviously prevented me from pursuing them. He looks carefully at the guards. What? I think he's gonna let you take the advantage on the persuasion check because you're charismatic.
You're the one doing the lying.
Sorry,
yeah.
it's deception. It's deception.
She's gonna walk up and just hold his hand and say, "I am so glad you both did. He's foolhardy sometimes and thinks he can take on more than he really can."
Oh, well, what's the roll?
It's an natural 19 and it's deception, which I'm good at. 23.
Holy crap. Well, oh my goodness.
They feel flattered.
I apologize for the misunderstanding. Yeah.
Thank you so much for protecting my husband.
Arthrin just. Well, it's quite all right. Just be careful being out so late in the shadowy street corners. Especially kind of looks you up and down. He's going to make a perception check. 2.
She does look rough.
She kind of looked up now. You might try the lower quarters of the city. This is fairly expensive lodging-wise, but there can still be ruffians looking to make a quick buck off of people that they perceive as being weak. And he looks at Arthrin as he says that. Arthrin's like, that's fair enough.
Poor and weak. That's great.
We're not from around here, and well, we got quite lost when we ran into those hooligans. They're probably still out there. I think honestly you should keep your eyes peeled. They were starting all kinds of trouble.
That's right. They went further down the alleyway. Yeah. Oh, really? Right. They turn and they walk past you. And they go around the side. What was the stealth check, Kyro?
24.
24.
Oh no!
There's one of them right there.
You throw yourself against the wall, just hiding amidst the shadow, because there's lights. There's a light source kind of shining in through the street here, and it casts a long shadow down this element of the alleyway, and you kind of huddle yourself against the wall. They turn. They look around, following the alleyway. Oh, they've gone. They can't have gone far. Come on. Thank you for your help. We'll try and find these intruders and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, good sirs.
Stay safe,
Come on,
lovebirds.
Let's find a tavern. And I just carry on holding his hand and just drag him out of the alley.
Ow, Eirys. Stop.
I'm just gonna stay hidden and keep an eye on everything.
And in the moment we're kind of out of sight, I'm gonna let go of his hand and be back to me.
4, 8.
Cool. That's my perception check.
Seems clear.
Everything's great.
Where have you two been? I mean,
what were you doing?
I listen. I saw you guys slip out of the tavern. I kind of followed you. I wanted to come forward, but then you climbed on the roof or something. So I kind of just hung back and watched, and then someone shot you from the roof, and Kyro like freaking shattered the window. Kyro, what the hell was that about?
Well, I mean, listen, assassins generally prefer it when attention's not being drawn to them, so I drew attention to the situation.
Yeah, that's right. And a number of guards came running around, as you saw, and I was the first person they saw. Like, I don't
know. Maybe if they had gotten here quicker, they could have been a great distraction or something. Who knows?
Listen, I nearly got arrested there.
That's not my fault.
It's not even the worst thing that could have happened, Arthrin. You could have been killed.
I'm fine. I'm okay.
I think you did the right thing not getting involved.
It's not like I had much of a choice. Before I knew it, you were both on the roof, and there was a sounds of like, you know, sword swinging and flesh being cut. And you know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, is the important thing is I guess this is where Kylan's staying, right?
For now.
Yes, but we
he
need
all
to
right?
head back to the others.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he's fine.
All right. Cool. Should we walk and talk?
Hastefully,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. You guys make your way back to the wretched flask. And at this point, as you're walking, it takes about an hour. Any other things that anybody wants to sort out while the others are on their way back to the tavern?
I want to talk to some rats.
You go out to the back.
Yeah, Deanna's
Try to find Maureen. If we can find her, we can probably do something about that in the morning.
Okay, so make an general animal handling to see if you can do as you did earlier.
Yeah, I mean, I've sort of had the idea to start networking with these rats, basically.
Okay.
Because they're probably the ones that live in the sewers the most.
Mm-hmm.
So.
What's the check?
So, animal handling, right?
Yep.
Okay, that's not good. I think I need a new dice.
What was the roll?
Yeah, it was a crit fail.
Oh, okay. It's just, it might not even necessarily be a lack of skill on your part. It's just nighttime and the mousies be asleep. You just don't seem to be able to detect where any of them are, and you check out in the back of the alleyway and then out on the main road, and yeah, I guess.
She'll try again later.
It might have been the huge tumultuous explosion that destroyed half of
That's true.
That too.
Drove
Probably
these
scared them
animals away. Yeah, you find it difficult. You're impossible to find it.
Well, she'll go back with the rest of the group and see what they're doing.
Cool. So the body of the assassin here is still unconscious. An hour goes by. Anyone? Oh, your spiritual weapon will fade, Brüz. What?
Yes, it will.
Any other orders of business before the others get?
Well, I think maybe for sort of like when they get back is when Brüz will feed the good berry
Sure.
to the assassin.
All right.
And
so we're going to do that right after the break.
thank goodness.
Yeah.
It's going to be a rush for the toilets.
Yeah. Thank you for watching, everybody. Hope you're having a good time. We're going to play a video for you for the next 10 minutes or so while we take a little bit of a break. Well played, everybody. I failed to kill you.
Thank you for not killing us.
Indeed. In a bit.
Arthrin, good to see you again. Hello, Trent. Would it be another ale, the same as always? Yeah, set it up. 3 copper, same as always. I take it that you'll take your usual place. Yep, just me and my ale in the court. The booth seems to be taken. Well, so it does. Well, I suppose you could always sit somewhere else.
I'm gonna head over there.
Oh, Arthrin, wait.
Hey! The wee bug was rolling around the floor.
Gentlemen, huh? The day's been long and I'm in need of rest. I'd love to sit here.
Well, excuse you, pretty boy.
as you can see that we've got this booth for ourselves, so you're gonna have to move on. Listen, I just really like this booth, alright? I said, move on. I'll move on when you leave.
Hey, we're not going to have any trouble in here. Take it outside, or put an end to it.
You should listen to the Dragonborn, wee lad. Or I'll fuck you up. That's right. Keep on fucking walking.
Arthrin, my boy. What on earth's wrong?
My dearest Bartholomew, how I miss you. These lonely days have passed without incident, and the towers of Valen's Kier rise so high in the sky, yet so detached from the mire below. I wish so much for us to be together, but the only way we can contact each other is through shadowy deals made with roguish delivery boys who have more courage than sense. I urge you to make your way to Valen's Kier so we can meet. I don't care what my father says.
What are you doing? Whoa! Whoa! Calm down!
Oh, Arthrin.
What were you doing? Were you reading something?
Doesn't matter what I was doing.
Is that the letter?
No.
It is, isn't it?
No.
I bet it is.
It isn't.
So, what is it then?
It's nothing.
Are you sure it's nothing? Because it looks to me like you're reading this letter. Are you hoping for a romantic story of two star-crossed lovers or something? I wouldn't have thought it of you, Eirys. Or not! Or not!
You didn't see this.
I didn't see this.
This never happened.
Right! Never happened. Absolutely.
Go back to sleep.
Back to sleep. Uh-huh. Yep. Whew. Okay. I'm just gonna... Well... Yeah.
Yours, now and always.
And welcome back. Hope that you
Wow.
enjoyed. Yeah, hope that you had fun watching
so
the
much
artwork.
fun.
And that we have teeth and toileted. All good. How are we all feeling?
Relieved to be alive.
Indeed.
Great. I'm feeling great.
rested.
Yes.
I shouldn't have. No, because you just went to pee.
Ah, okay. That's true. Good. So, let me grab some of these icons right here. As
I'm excited to finally be back
Arthrin
with everyone else.
and Kyro and Eirys return from their excursions.
Ba-bum.
Cool. Slip turns around to see the three of you as you come up the stairs. Oh, thank goodness you're all right. It's been a bit of a frantic one. You can see behind him and everybody in this narrow second-story corridor that the room that he was staying in is just lying in blitzed pieces, and kind of scampering up behind you, looking a bit concerned. Is the bar manager, who's again just kind of watching what you guys are doing, is a bit unsure. Cool. What are you guys going to do?
Oh, you guys might. Holy shit, Eirys.
Oh, hi.
I thought you
where's
said you
Ella?
were fine.
Where's Ella?
Also, I see you found Arthrin.
Yes.
Brüz
Hi everyone.
passes.
Scruffy!
Hey.
You might need a couple of these. Here, have one. I'll find another.
Who are you giving that
He
to?
rifles around in his pouch. And he starts counting. No, that. Yes, you can have one more. Hands him one more. So you have 2 good berries.
Kyro, there's an unmasked figure in leather armor tied up against the wall next to Brüz. It's a Drow.
Does he look like if I stabbed him, he'd die?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
He looks
That's good then.
We need to wake him up.
First, we need to heal you.
I'm fine.
You should
No.
probably.
Oh.
You're gonna
Have
sleep.
you eaten the good berry?
Oh.
Eirys, eat it. Eat them both. Now, please.
She looks at them like mistrustingly, and then at Brüz, then at them, then at Brüz, and then like really gingerly just like nibbles into one.
You
She's
gain
fucking
one
adorable.
as you quietly and slowly nibble away. You gain 1 hit point, and your hunger is satiated for the next 24 hours.
See, I'm all better. Now let's wake up.
One.
And I cast Healing Word.
Yeah.
Roll those heals.
I'm also gonna annoy the heck out.
Let
Another
Ella
7
do her
hit points
job.
for Eirys.
Say again. Sorry.
+7, I think. Arby said.
7. Okay, cool.
Oh, 7.
+7 for healing for Eirys.
Alright.
And the Healing Word was just
Yeah. It
You should be
feels
using your
better.
magic on him to wake him up. I am fine.
Bruce has got a berry
Yes,
for him.
yes. I have one left for him.
Yeah, we got
He's
that
gonna
sorted.
need he's gonna need a little more healing than that, from what I'm about to do to him.
As long as
no.
he's conscious, that's all we need him for.
I can stabilize him with a smack to the face, and I can probably make some more good berries. They're
So
very
we can do this all night.
I mean, I'm feeling pretty
really
full after just
can't.
having one. I'm probably gonna try.
Nuru's like realizing that torture's gonna be involved and seems sort of like this isn't very. She's like, well, you know what? I'm gonna try to talk to some rats if that's all right with you guys.
That would be great.
Figure out more in.
Fine.
Yeah,
Fine.
yeah, that's
Wait,
Good
that's
i-
not
good
who I'm looking
idea.
for. What's your cousin's name?
What, me? Oh, Anya.
Anya? Anya.
Yeah.
Yeah, try to find Anya.
Can you give me a basic description that, like, if a rat saw her, they might remember?
She's probably like late 20s. I don't exactly know how old she is. She's got long blonde hair that she often wears in a bun. She has like a real striking glare that you wither under if she fixes you with it, and kind of greyish blue eyes.
Didn't know I found it cute.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I'd find it cute now. I mean, I'm stronger than I was back then. But anyway, yeah, she's pretty slight, I guess. You know.
Okay, got it. So they'll probably at least remember the hair color.
Yeah, blonde.
Yeah.
Like, rats are pretty smart.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna try and get to know these rats. It seems like the syndicate is sort of like a sewer dwelling kind of folk. So
Ask if they ever heard of anyone mention Hole 69B or the Arcanist's dungeon.
Arcanist.
that's a good point. I'll see what I can do about that. I'm not gonna like dive in yet, but I think I can at least try to make friends with these rats ahead of time. I have this other idea too. I could turn into an alligator and actually do some exploring. It would be really gross, but I mean, if they saw me, they'd just think I'm an alligator that lives in a sewer.
That's true. You can actually do that.
First, let's ask the rats.
Right.
Yep, one thing at a time, right?
Let's not walk before.
Anyway, you do your job, okay?
Okay.
I plan to.
She gives awkward thumbs up as she walks backwards out of the area.
Yeah. Goes back down the
right.
stairs. Yeah.
How close to exhaustion do these people look? Sorry I interrupted you, actually.
Yeah, yell first, after you.
I was just going to carry on with it, so it's
Okay.
quick to answer that.
Excuse me, Kyro, what were you saying?
Oh, I was asking, how exhausted do these people look, just in general?
Oh,
Cursory
make a
glance.
perception check.
Okay.
Can I do deception to try and hide how
15.
Yes.
I know you're exhausted. I don't even.
I don't want anyone to know.
I'm just assuming you're exhausted at this point.
I got 18.
15 for everyone else.
18. Everyone looks fine. And just for
Okay.
DM confirmation, you guys managed to just about squeeze a long rest in. I'm being generous because some of you have reset your abilities, so
Okay.
minus what you've obviously used in this last combat. Yeah, you guys are good.
Cool.
Before the interrogation starts, can Ella do a good look at Kyro and Eirys and see, were they poisoned? Did they just get hit by poison arrows?
So are you looking at them to determine the nature of their injuries?
Yeah. Yeah.
Iris is
wanna
still
get-
trying to be deceptive with that 18.
Make a perception check / investigation, your choice.
Possibly insight on Eris since she's being deceptive.
So what was it? Investigation
I don't know.
or...
Oh, excuse me. Either investigation or deception, your choice.
Yeah, let's go investigation, that seems... 13.
You walk right up to Eirys and Kyro, and you kind of like you hold out your
15.
arms. Oh, okay. You hold out your hands and you start just poking inside, and Eirys, you kind of shove Ella off, and yeah, like you have difficulty, but you can see that there are considerable slash wounds across Eirys's body. Eirys, what was you were going to try and hide it in a way, I guess?
Yeah, just trying to act like I'm fine. I'm not tired. I'm not injured. I'm trying to keep myself held upright and not show any pain.
You
Rolled
can
an
see
18.
that there's evidence, Ella, of magical healing across the body, but there is also considerable evidence that cannot be hidden of considerable battle damage.
She's got some nice bandages.
Yeah, there are bandages across the worst of them. On Kyro, you can see evidence of a crossbow bolt wound that has been hastily removed. There's blood on his kind of right top shoulder kind of space, clavicle sort of space. Yeah, they've been in the wars. You actually with that investigation and given the figure that's behind you, and the way that they're both kind of like staring at it quite intently, it's likely that they've come across a similar figure this evening, and it was just the two of them, and they won. Yeah.
Okay. Ella is going to like kind of place her hands on both of them.
Yeah.
And she's going to
Save
do
your spells for the prisoner, please.
I have plenty more. And she does cast Cure Wounds on both at second level.
2 second level
Nice.
spell slots, 2d8 plus your life
Yeah.
cleric MacGuffins.
I'm gonna get back to full, I think.
I use.
I didn't actually look that bad. I'm almost full.
Your second one is a big one, yeah.
12 points of healing. Not the best, but...
What, to each of them?
Well, that's in total, so, yeah.
Okay, 12 points
Yep.
each. Yep, shorten.
She looks mostly better.
I'm completely healed.
Okay. Sorry, I shouldn't eat cake while we're streaming. Cool. It's Christmas cake, guys. It's Christmas. God, you gotta give me that.
It's okay. I'm sure they'll
Merry
forgive you.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Eirys looks to
Daggers,
the
poisons, and rogues. Cool. So
in
Brüz is by this prisoner, this drow, kind of leathery, roguish boy.
So as you were saying, Split, I don't really care if you feel full about that, because we can just feed him another one, and if he pukes his guts out, I don't really give a shit.
Oh.
in keep.
Yeah.
Would you mind fetching me some hot water, a cloth, some garlic, and if you have some salt, please?
Make a persuasion check.
$18.
I'll see what I can do.
But the salt needs to be dissolved in the hot water for at least 5 minutes.
Understood. I'll be. Hey, is anybody gonna pay for the damages to my building?
Of course we will.
All right. I'll
But first, we need to find out who did this to you.
Quite right. He kind of doubles back down the stairs.
I got rid of him for a while. Okay.
To be fair, some water in the wounds, not a bad shout.
Sure.
Anyway.
Ella Royale or Brüz, if you'd be so kind as to give this guy enough life.
Pull the drow's head back up. Brüz, would you like to do the honors?
Do you need me for literally anything?
Hold it still. Brüz drops it in like feeding a Labrador a flea tablet or a worm tablet or something. Sort of
just rub it
comforts
down.
it down his throat. And as he's doing it, he turns up to yell and says, and I will say, you can eat quite a few of these and it won't make you throw up. It might make you a little sleepy, though.
Good to know.
The throat. You have to have a few, though.
That's good to know. Means you can wake him up lots of times.
Good.
Hello. Wake up, Drow.
He kind of reaches up. In fact, no, his arms are bound, but he kind of like realizes that he doesn't have his mask on.
Huh?
He realizes he has his mask on. He's like, "Oh, fuck."
Eirys pulls a scarf up.
And
Now-
Brüz is still right there in front of his
Yeah,
face.
I'm still holding his head back, like by the hair.
Broadly,
Yeah.
smiles broadly and says, "Hello, handsome. Are you going to be polite?"
Well, exactly what my friend is saying here. We're not too mad at the moment, but the rest of our friends, they're quite angry. So why don't you start talking?
He kind of like tries to resist the pull of the hair, but he doesn't go too far because of the pain that his body's in. Oh, fuck. You really did a fucking number on me. Ugh. All right, let go of my hair and I'll... just let go of my hair.
I loosen the grip on the hair.
You kind of.
Are you gonna talk?
And Brüz says, "Oh, and don't worry, I am not at all angry, but I am most certainly quite mad."
Ooh, that's new for
stands
him.
And then just stands all the way up on his
Oh,
cloven
that's
hooves.
definitely new for him. I would be very scared if I were you right now.
Just the friendliest grin he can hold.
Kind of looks at you, yells, goes,
That'd be fucking terrifying.
Are you people serious? You think that this is going to make me talk?
Oh, I don't think it'll make you talk. I know it'll make you talk.
I have
And
been
I pull his
torn.
hair back again.
Ugh. I have been torn, I've been lashed, I've been stabbed, I've been poisoned.
Hey.
Everything. Ugh. Looks at you.
How many
Kyro.
times have you died?
Ah, I was thinking the same thing, Brüz. So glad we're on the same wavelength.
I knew you would be, my boy.
You both notice that as Kyro goes around the corner and says, hey, he just stares directly at Kyro and he's not paying any attention to you anymore.
Oh.
Oh, so rude. You can't even have a conversation with people now.
Maybe we don't.
He kind of looks.
try to-
He looks both up at both of you. I think I'll call each of you Thing 1 and Thing 2. You Tiefling
Oh,
hags.
you're clever.
I'm trying to make a friend. He looks back at Kyro. Come here, boy.
Oh, great. I'll go over.
Did he say that in common?
Yeah.
Can
Yeah,
I
okay.
just stand behind him?
Yeah. How do you fit into this band of misfits? What are you doing on the surface?
Just stares at him.
He's going to make an insight check on you. Ooh.
I'm gonna ask you the same thing, buddy.
You can't be here because you love the weather. You're running from something.
Ah, speaking of the weather,
Shut
split.
Shut the fuck up, Thing 2.
Ah, I smack him against the elbow.
Okay. You just grab him and
Goes
slam his
out,
head
I
against
guess.
the wall.
Yep.
How's this going to work? Make an unarmed strike attack.
I want to know what he has to say.
Unarmed strike. That's +5. That's a 21.
Oh, whoosh! Slams
Good
against the
knock around.
body. He's going to make a con save because I want to save a bit of time. It's really high. I hope you guys don't mind me bending the rules a little bit. He just goes. He takes a hit of the body impacting the wall. If Eirys, if your movement into the room is true, is that what you're doing? You're moving into the other room?
Yeah, I'm just standing behind him silently.
You just see the wall just whoomph and almost give away, and there's in fact a little kind of cracking of some of the wooden beams, panels, as his body is slammed in by Yell. He kind of like tenses. He's like, oh. See, the thing is, Thing 2, you think that death scares me, and you're wrong. You could kill
I
me
don't
now.
think that death scares you. I think that life scares you. And that's
Yeah.
why I can bring you back over and over and over again.
Exactly. I don't think you're afraid of dying. I think you're afraid of being left alive to go back to them when you failed.
How about we let the gentleman continue his conversation with Kyro?
Thank you for musing.
And then I switch to undercommon.
Yeah.
Not underdark. And I say, continue, friend.
He replies in kind. You know the tongue of my people.
Go ahead. What were you saying to my friend?
He gives he looks at you peculiarly. Kind of looks back at Kyro, and he continues Kyro in undercommon.
The friend trend.
Say again.
Sorry, I had to mute. What?
So he's talking to you now in undercommon. Yell and Brüz, you're a little bit confused. You glance at Ella, Arthrin, Slip on a little bit further away. Don't get what he's saying. What he does say in Undercommon is, "We're both runaways, both fugitives. Ever since the demons appeared, had to get out, didn't we?"
He like looks away. That would be basically confirmation of yes.
What do you know?
How long have you been working for these surface people?
Since I got here. That was 3 or 4 months ago, I guess.
How have they been to you? I mean, the ones you're with.
I've grown strong. Tell your companions to let me go.
I'm trying to figure out if this guy seems like he might defect.
Make an insight check.
All right. $13.
He seems the most genuine thing you hear him say having said so far is, you can kill me, I'm not afraid of dying. And you get the sense that he's asking to be let go out of loyalty, really. Like, it's difficult to know whether or not you'd be able to persuade him. You might be able to, but he's obviously asking to be let go because he wants to get out of here. That's as much as you pick up.
Have you heard of a woman named Anya?
Anya.
Captain Anya.
Kind of looks at you, Eirys. He's been smashed through the wall, so you're like within the bedroom, and the others are like, out on the corridor, and he's being spoken to from inside the bedroom and outside at the same time. It's kind of weird. He says, kind of narrows his eyes slightly as he looks at you, Eirys. Can't say that I have.
Tell me, which entrance is hole 69B? It's been a while since I've been in town.
Who are you?
Ex-syndicate.
Yes.
He kind of like he's looking a little bit agog now. What is?
And look how not dead we are.
You ran from the syndicate, and you live.
If so, yep.
And we can tell you how if you help us.
What role is this going to be? It's deception with advantage because you're both going together.
Advantage or one each? How's your charisma, Kyro?
One each if you want, or one of you with advantage.
My deception's a +10. Wait, no, it's not. It's a +6. I looked at the wrong one.
Oh, you roll for both of us.
Okay.
All right.
Roll with advantage, Kyro.
Dirty 20. Yeah, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. He kind of like looks between the two of you. I don't have a hope of coming out of this alive unless I comply, do I?
You knew the answer to that.
He kind of like leans back and he looks directly at Brüz in the eyes, and then to Yell in the eyes.
Don't mind them. They're dumb mercenaries we hired to finish a job.
And we're muttering in Infernal to each other whilst miming stabbing and tickling and strangling and high
They
fiving.
think they know what good. They imagine themselves to be good at torture.
It was amusing, you have to admit.
Dumb is right. What do you need me to do?
We just want some information, that's all.
I know where Anya's being held. I recognized
Where?
the name as soon as you told me. It's a dungeon that's being used by a couple of the Syndicate spellcasters to try and extract information and some experimental new magic involving the modifying of memory.
Great.
What part of Trine is she being held? What district?
Well, there's all manner of sewers lying underneath the city. I can't tell you exactly in which part of the city it's underneath, but it's towards the mountain end. If you were to enter the sewers here, the tunnels would take miles and miles and miles to travel through, with all manner of wild beasts.
Like what?
I don't know. I only know what I'm told. I only know what the rumors say about fell aberrations, failed experiments. He chuckles to himself. Neither of you are really in the Syndicate, are you?
Have you ever heard or crossed the name Kylan?
Neither of you are in the Syndicate.
Not anymore.
Looks at you. He's going to make an insight check. He looks you dead in the eyes and says, I wish you luck. He moves his arms to the side and he draws a dagger from his side.
He's bound.
He's going to try and struggle against the thing.
I'm going to smack his head in the wall as soon as I see him move.
Yeah. You grab it, you smack his head in the wall. He's
Can I... Does he have his blade in his hand? Can I stab him in the hand?
In essence, he's going for a dagger that's hidden on the side, but his hands are bound beside his body. He manages to unsheath the dagger. You use your reaction. You're going to make a specific space attack roll, which increases the armor class, but you can definitely roll. At the same time as Yell grabs the head and smashes it against the wooden panels, knocking him out again.
I promise I'm not lying. Natural 20 again.
Okay. It goes straight through the hand and clinks into a dagger that's hidden at the side. You get the sense that he was attempting to off himself. It's I'm not sure what would have happened first, actually. It doesn't matter. Yeah, he's unconscious and pretty rough.
He would have only have had 1 hit point from the good berry.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So
if he took any damage then...
The stab from Eirys knocked him unconscious, and Yell grabbing his head and smashing it into the wall would be 2 failed death saves.
And Brüz just puts his hand on his head and casts Spare the Dying, stabilizing him.
Yep, that's stabilized.
Can Eirys like frisk him and just
Look,
try and
don't-
check any other weapons and everything?
Don't hit him all at once. Goodness me, and he reaches into his pouch.
I think
and
at this point we should probably
grabs-
kill him. Is that
He grabs another good berry.
cool?
I want to know where Hall 69 is, 69B, where the Arcanist dungeon is, why they want Kylan.
All right.
You guys told us any of this because it was all in a language we don't know.
We'll catch you up.
Was going to ask the DM something.
Okay. While Brüz is drawing out the good berry, stabilizing the body, Ella, sorry, thank you for your patience. What would you like to do?
That's fine. That's fine. I was going to ask, sort of like, I take it the rogue syndicate guy was talking in Undercommon.
Basically, as soon as he started being talked to in Undercommon, he replied in kind. He's been speaking to Kyro and Eirys in Undercommon.
Okay.
And you guys have noticed that his expression has gone from kind of like grim and hardy resolve and almost like laughing at Brüz and Yell to just like being quite disarmed, astonished and kind of almost contemplative, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would, as soon as Ella noticed that he obviously, would she have been able to cast comprehend language?
If you use it, if you've got a spell slot for it, you can cast it immediately. Yes, is that true?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, sure. Okay.
She understands everything.
If as soon as you do that, is it comprehend written and spoken language?
It's yeah.
So that's how they used it on Critical Role.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Comprehend is just you understand the language.
Yeah.
It's like it
I
auto
can't
translates
speak
in your mind.
Okay.
It's like you can't read it. It's just in your mind. It auto translates for you.
Yeah.
It's a momentary babel fish.
As soon as you cast a spell, you basically pick up everything apart from the very beginning. You speak the tongue of my people. As soon as you hear that, you cast a spell, and Ella, you have heard basically everything they've been talking about. You kind of like look at how he looks at Brüz and Yell, and kind of turns around and it's like, "Idiot is right," and smile to yourself.
Okay.
Another time,
Oh,
another place. Would this have been a bad person? Who knows?
That's great, because that means you would have understood Yell and Brüz talking, like, just joking, making up just ridiculous, meaningless drivel to each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
In
Because
Infernal.
everyone else was talking in Undercommon, and Ella was suddenly able to hear that as well.
Yeah. She
Fluffy fishy.
kind of goes to Yell and
Billabong triple.
Stapler!
Pescatarian.
Combustion engine.
Raise.
Combustion
Now
engine?
I'm going to
That's
say
ridiculous.
something else.
I'd like to tell Yell what we were talking about while the guy's knocked out.
Shall I roll investigation for frisking?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
I catch Brüz and Yell what's going on.
That's fine.
19.
So he claims to know where Anya is. Do we know he's telling the truth?
I don't. I mean,
So, sorry,
I'm
going to deal with the investigation check. Sorry, I'll be right back with you two.
that's fine.
So you find a note on his person similar to the note of the assassin that was in the place. Don't forget to mute. Thank you. There's 10 platinum pieces in a hidden wallet. The same.
They already found that, I think, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
You find a note along with all of the weaponry in a very similar style to the person that you found at the hotel.
I'm going to put all the weapons in the bag, just away from him.
Yep. So you got 2 sets of that assassin's weaponry I described earlier. The note says, again in Thieves' Cant, we suspect that Slip Tripplesworthy is gathering information on our operations. He is staying at the Wretched Flask Tavern. Kill him and return to the Arcanist's dungeon via hole 69B. Be swift and silent.
So he definitely knows 69B.
Yep. He does.
Before we wake him again, Brüz would like to redo the binding, so that he's hogtied and on his back.
Okay.
Like wrists to ankles, knees to elbows, hogtied.
Oh hell. Okay. Yep. Easy enough to do because he is unconscious. He's not going to resist, and you can take your time about it. I'll say that by the time this all happens, you've opened up the door halfway between this room, and it's all kind of.
Yes, that makes life easier.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Okay.
We are going to kill him, right? Or are we trying to get him to betray the syndicate? What's the goal?
I was planning to kill him. I wouldn't trust anyone in the syndicate.
Yeah, I think that would probably lie.
He's dead. It's just we need information first, or what we can anyway.
Ella or Brüz, would you mind doing a spell?
What type of spell would you like?
One that gives him an adequate amount of health, not so much that he's feeling great.
Oh, no. Already
Enough that
covered,
I can have some
my darling. Oh, really? The good berry's only really good for a little knock. All right. And Brüz puts the good berry kind of disgruntledly back into his pouch, and puts his hand on the forehead of the guy on the floor.
Yeah.
Cast Cure Wounds, level 1, and he gets a
D8 plus wisdom.
Can I also... I know this is a weird thing right now, but do insightful fighting on him. And just see if, like, in this whole time, if I've noticed him, like, I don't know, how he holds himself or anything.
Go for it.
And that's a 10 total.
Ooh.
I want to seem as though I'm affected by what's happening.
What's my insight?
Are you affected by what's happening?
Maybe a little, but every good lie has truth in it.
I only will let you roll
That's a good point.
to show yourself in a way that you would like.
I only got 14, but in the time we were talking, he'd be rolling a charisma
Yeah.
check, I think. Or deception.
Deception while unconscious.
not like right now, but like during this whole time.
Oh.
You get the sense that, like, you don't recognize him, and it doesn't make it's not that outlandish. But for what he was saying about having only joined within the last few months, he hasn't been in the syndicate while you have been involved with trying. It is while you've been on the run that you've that this figure came in. Basically, you never would have had a reason to cross paths.
Apparently, he was running from demons.
He got the sense of you're just kind of a little bit. You're just thinking about who he might have been, what his story is, what brought him to this desperate and bloody path, and you do not gain the insightful fighting.
Okay.
He kind of moves as the healing runs into his body. He kind of moves up. He goes,
opens his eyes and sees Brüz's smiling face once again, and he goes, "Welcome back, handsome."
He kind of feels his body having been moved into a different position. Scorn that skin, Cleric. He curses in Undercommon.
Should I be offended? Was that him polite?
Kyro and Eirys, yeah, that was pretty foul.
We can't have you pulling anything like that again now, can we?
Looks up.
We still have questions. I'm speaking in Undercommon.
He replies in Common. I wish you luck.
Hole 69. Just tell me where it is.
You wait for 10 seconds, 30, a minute. He doesn't reply.
What love have you for the syndicate?
Brüz starts tickling him.
Roll a sleight of
my
hand
God.
check.
Oh my god.
I would like to imagine it was something more than sleight of hand, because Brüz is not particularly dexterous.
What would you put it? Is it a...
I want to say a medicine check. I want to say a medicine check.
I'll let you.
Where are the nerves?
Brüz has quite an understanding of the way that the meat machines work, and so he's like, he knows how to tickle somebody. He's quite an adept tickler.
The cleric
And
who's a
with
healer.
a
This is just
a
19 on the roll
19.
and a 7 in medicine.
26.
I will have a 26 tickling, please.
He's gonna make a...
That's a 26 to tickle.
Oh my god.
He's rolled a wisdom check, and I've given him disadvantage because of how well you rolled, and it went from, I'm not kidding, a nat 20 to a natural 1. You see him kind of like holding, and just he doesn't move as he lets Brüz move around, and you see him kind of, his expression just starts to crack.
It's pretty bad.
He just like ends up like moving jaggedly, trying to get you off of him, and a couple of spluttered kind of giggles do make their way through.
Please spare us both this experience and just talk to us.
Looks back at you.
Yeah.
If he's not begging Brüz to stop tickling him, Brüz does not stop tickling.
Another medicine check, I guess.
I mean, that was only an 11 that time, but 11 plus 7 is 18.
You resist that.
Oh, this.
Ella is going to lick her finger and then give him a wet willy in his ear.
Oh my god.
Can we maybe stop?
He just looks.
This is worse than torture.
He looks at Ella
It's the most
curiously
childish torture.
as
It's
she
great.
approaches. You kind of poke your finger in his ear. He doesn't resist. He just looks at you curiously as you do it, and as you kind of step back, he's looking at you with his eyes, just like, "What are you doing?" he doesn't say anything. He doesn't say anything.
I kind of have a question that's not really related, but
Looks at you.
why are you so okay with dying?
He replies in undercommon. You know the answer to that.
I don't actually.
No response.
All right. Slip.
Yeah, is he being tough? Sorry, I'm just in the hallway. It's just quite crowded in this room.
Aye. Don't suppose you could shed some light on this guy for us, could you?
I mean,
What's your name?
doesn't talk. Steps forward. He's like, "Oh, I see what you're doing." He steps forward.
Come on now.
And he
What's
kind
your
of,
name? As he casts a light on the spell.
Yeah. He kind of like Slip kind of like puts his hand on your shoulder, Eirys, and he's like reaching up to. He's like, "Excuse me, my dear. Just this is an idea." He kind of casts Lumos on the book, and magical light streams into the face of the Drow, and he kind of looks up at Slip as he holds the book up and shines it into his face. He kind of looks at the book, then looks up at Slip. It's like, doesn't seem to be affecting him very much.
Maybe a bit of daylight?
The moment he put his hand on Eirys' shoulder, she just stares at the hand and glares at the physical contact. The audacity of this little man.
I mean, it's magical light. I mean, it may not. Yeah, maybe the fact it's magical is making a difference. They don't like sunlight, that's for sure.
I get oh, he said he's all like tied up, isn't he? Okay, I get my dagger and I start cutting off one of his ears.
Oh
No!
Come on, give us your name and she'll stop.
I stop. Well, yeah, I stop briefly into it and give him an opportunity.
Give the name and we'll stop.
I am very trained in the art of getting people to talk. And quite frankly, I don't like unpaid work, so please just tell us what we want to know. And be free of the syndicate. Find a new life on the surface as a mercenary or something.
Make intimidation with advantage.
I'm going to go for 2. That one. Oh, thank God for the advantage. That was a natural 1 and an 18. An intimidation. 22.
Skull is undercommon for ow.
Ow, as in OW or AL?
like ouch.
O-W.
Itai.
O-U-C-H.
I'm not enjoying this either. But we need this information one way or another. We've tried doing it the nice way.
Looks up at Brüz. Looks up at Slip. Looks up at you.
Are you being obstinate?
Is there some sort of reason why you don't want to tell us?
Make a persuasion check.
Me?
Yeah.
Persuasion?
Yeah.
God, okay. You insist.
Kyro's charmingness.
This is not what I'm good at.
All this time I've been trying to persuade.
What?
That's not what you're good at.
I forgot a D, sorry.
Oh, it's got to be a D20.
Yeah, I didn't do that well.
Don't panic.
Keep calm and carry on.
9!
He kind of, he hears your question and just ignores it, goes back to Eirys. He says an undercommon.
I said, is there a fucking reason?
Why be loyal to the Syndicate?
I want to roll intimidation.
Go for it.
Yeah, finally!
Just yell.
Finally! You can use your intimidation!
11?
20.
20. As you,
wow!
As you yell, he kind of shifts on the ground and looks back up. And so he talks in undercommon, so both you and Ella at the back can understand. What guarantee do I have? If you're going to kill me, fucking kill me.
I'm not, because we're not. Can't give you any guarantee.
Hey, no. I'm asking, like, why bother protecting the Syndicate at this point? Do you love them that much?
I go back to the Syndicate, now I die. What guarantee do I have?
A chance at living, that's all you have. You go back to them, you die. You tell us what we want to know, you may live.
That's not good enough.
What can we give you? What can we do to prove to you that we will let you live?
Cut me free.
And what if you run before you've answered?
I will not.
What guarantee that we have?
I'll cut him free. I do it right now, and then if he runs, I'm gonna shoot him in the back.
You guys watch as Kyro unsheaths his short sword and cuts the Drow's bonds.
I put a knife to his throat.
You can undo the knots.
He kind of like moves his arms around. He kind of rubs his wrists together. He looks up at you, Kyro, you Eirys. He checks his person. You have my instructions then.
Where is hole 69B?
He gives you an explanation. In essence, you... let me just look at my descriptions here. So there are two towns in the city. One is Vestige Square. If you take the northernmost road out of Vestige Square for about half a mile, there is a cobbler's on a street corner, a fairly large thoroughfare named Zach's. Sorry, I'm coming up with this on the top of my head. Yeah, Zach the Cobbler, let's call it. I'll give it a better name another time. But yeah. In essence, there's a manhole that leads into the sewers there, and that's the most direct sort of route into the sewers. And because it's further into town, it's closer to the mountains, and a lot of the syndicate's sort of holdings underneath the city are they get larger and more ornate as the sewer system underneath the city combines with old ruins of mostly dwarven origin, and that's what the syndicate uses as both thoroughfares throughout the city, but also dungeons, caves, holding cells, that kind of thing.
Cool, we found our directions.
What do you know about Kylan? What the Syndicate want with him?
Who's Kylan?
He's an old retired knight who they've been in touch with recently.
I don't know about that.
Okay. What can you tell us of the Arcanist's dungeon?
Apparently, the ruling class of the Syndicate like experimenting. And that's one of the places where experiments are done.
Experimenting like they're doing with Anya?
Of that kind and of other different kinds. There are other ruins underneath the city where the Syndicate are trying strange things. I don't know everything, but the rumors that I talked about earlier were that the waste, the rejected aberrations and byproducts of their experimenting are just released to roam the sewers, so that anybody who tries to find them would run into those instead.
Smart. What is your name?
She. X-I.
That's such a cool name.
Is this still in Undercommon?
Yep.
You're
Sorry, bud.
You're
That's right.
from the Underdark, of course. Where did you reach the surface? What part of the Underdark are you from?
Oh my god.
Sorry.
DM doesn't know. Kyro does.
How far away was it from where I lived, basically?
What's the name of the city you lived in?
Shit, this dude's from my city. I know him then, probably.
Well, you didn't know everyone in the city. He was just another dude.
Listen. You live 100 years in a city, you start recognizing people. I mean, if this guy never interacted with me, then I wouldn't know him, but there's a chance.
I don't know. You might know his face as like, oh, he was one of the jocks or something.
What was the?
This guy bullied me in school.
What's the name of your city?
Who knows? What?
What's the name of your city, Kyro?
Ooh, good.
I can look up a word in Drowish if you want.
In essence, he says the word of
Melantha.
Kyro's home.
It's
city.
Melantha.
Muatha.
No, not that.
What? Why? What's
That's
that?
that's the name of a city in one of my settings.
Oh, okay.
But why is that bad?
Because I don't know. Because this is published.
Fine.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
That's fine.
It's okay.
There's a name for the city.
Yeah.
And he knows what it is.
As it slips out of his between his lips, Kyro, your ears prick up.
I want to do a history check.
Yeah, go for it. What, as to whether or not you recognize him specifically?
Yeah.
Go
Or if
for
I've ever heard of him or anything.
Yep.
Ooh, I got a history check, right? 30-20.
Dirty 20.
Yeah.
Doesn't immediately. No, I'm afraid that if you live in a city, it's possible.
That means he wasn't important. Good.
Yeah, I mean, in essence, you remember what happened with regards to the demon incursion, and you managed to get away by basically straggling and getting lucky. This guy is obviously the same.
Okay, so he's just some nobody. Very good.
That's for all you can tell. Maybe you don't know. Difficult to put.
I have one last question.
Before you kill me.
No, before we let you go. The Syndicate have been up to something lately, acting like they don't normally. I know Corin. I know he's been involved with attacking Trinstone, Valenskier. What do you know of the Syndicate's incentives? What's their plans?
The Syndicate is a different organization to the one you left. I've only known it to be a power-hungry organization. We keep talking in the shadows of stepping out into the sunlight. I don't like that.
That's very unlike the syndicate I know.
I don't know
I
what to
have
tell you.
no further questions.
He kind of like stands, kind of like relaxes his body. He kind of shifts his weight from one foot to the other. He lays his
Do you want a
arms
place to
down.
go?
What?
Are we actually letting this guy go, or am I killing him now?
Are you actually letting me go?
I'm asking her.
I'm assuming that you're talking in Undercommon. He'll understand that.
Does Kyro make eye contact with Eirys?
Yeah,
him being
basically,
said?
it's her call, but like,
Sorry, just give us a sec.
I don't actually feel like letting him go would be that bad at this point.
If Kyro makes eye contact with her and the guy's not looking at her, she shakes her head ever so slightly.
In a kill him way, or?
No, we're not letting
You don't know. I can't communicate it any more than that.
Yeah.
That's not clear at all.
We did discuss that we were going to kill him before we work him back up.
Depending how receptive you are, her hand is ever so slightly clenched on her dagger.
Yeah, we're gonna kill him. Alright.
Guys.
He kind of looks to Kyro, looks to you, Eirys, and goes,
You're free to go.
Was that said in common?
No.
Or was that said in undercommon?
Undercommon.
He's going to make an insight check. Not good. He kind of turns to Kyro, back to you, Eirys. You step to one side. He looks to everybody else in the room. He nods towards Brüz, and he nods towards Yell. Thing 1, thing 2. Go fuck yourselves. And he takes 2 steps forward as he goes past Eirys.
Brüz casts
When he walks past me, I step up behind and slit his throat.
Oh, we all went for it again.
Brüz was going to cast command and say halt.
Oh, okay.
So it's a wisdom save.
We're probably gonna need to roll initiative for all of these actions.
Yeah.
Yeah. See who actually gets the kill.
Oh, I'd been waiting. As soon as he was untied.
Yeah.
Brüz has been like whoa, and has had just the halt on the edge of his fingers.
Sure. We need to roll initiative to see whether or not you go first.
21.
21.
Also a 21, but Eirys has a higher dex than me.
That's true. She edges it. Ella, were you going to try something?
Ella was actually going to say to him, did he want patching up? She was actually going to heal him up.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, no!
You step forward trying to say that, but before you do, Eirys steps behind.
You would have heard everything about, like, when he was unconscious and us saying we were going to kill him and stuff.
Yeah,
that changes anything, but
yeah,
it's okay. It's just we kind of reached the point where we didn't need the deception anymore, but so that's why I was confused.
So you step behind, you grab him. It's an
As
attack with
quickly-
advantage. Yeah, it's an attack with advantage. So sneak attack.
He's only got 10 HP.
oh my god, different dice, natural 20 again. 14 and a 20.
So it's all of your damage dice doubled, and then add your modifiers.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah,
You only have 4 dice, so doubled is 8, and you only got 8 HP back, didn't
Did
you?
he dagger though?
he got 10 HP back, I think.
10, yeah.
But plus his
sorry.
modifiers would have been in there.
Oh yeah, plus the modifiers. So yeah, you do a minimum of 8 damage because you get 3d6 plus your 1d4. So there's a minimum of 4 doubled to 8 plus your modifier is what, 12.
3,
Yeah.
6, 12.
How badly do you kill him?
15, add 4, 19, but then I double the dice, which, what did I say was 15, so 34 damage.
Oh, he did.
You slice the blade across his throat. It cuts half of his head off. He kind
I
of
try and do it like as instantly as possible, so he doesn't even know it's happening.
Okay. With that much damage, I'm going to say it can happen as you described. So yeah, he just across his throat. He kind of he's moved forward, so it collapses forward. Ella, as you kind of step forward, he kind of falls forward until his face down right at your feet.
She just stares at the body.
I'm going to try and find a syndicate mark.
Brüz walks forward and casts Spare the Dying.
I love Brüz.
Ella, as you're watching, you can see a glow on the floor around the body, and the blood that's like flowed out over the floor just kind of almost back in time, sort of like jumps back through the air into the throat. The wound across his neck heals itself up, and a stable.
He's still unconscious.
And unconscious.
Just leave him somewhere away from here.
Do I notice this?
You can see this all happening. This isn't hidden from anybody.
I'd like to stab him again.
No!
Hey.
Okay. At some point, the body will be so riddled with injury that the cantrip's going to stop its effectiveness.
Ella's going to put a shield up.
You stand.
Shield is. Oh, her shield. Sorry, I thought you said.
Shield.
You stand over the body, and
Eirys is already there checking for the syndicate mark, though.
that's true.
That one is like wrist and stuff.
I'll say that you can actually see as he falls. There's a small, tiny at the base of the neck, back of the neck. The tiniest of the little marks of the syndicate there. That's easy enough for you to see with your passive perception. As you move forward, I'm going to do this for dramatic purposes, and I hope that you can forgive me for it. Ella raises the shield, and your dagger hits against it. It's a movement that you weren't anticipating. The blow
Enough.
is
No more killing, no more stabbing. This is enough. Brüz, help me with his body. Help me with his body. Let's get him out of here.
He's just unconscious. And Brüz grabs one arm and sort of hooks it up and lifts himself up on his staff. And drags him towards a chair.
Kyro looks shocked.
As you guys pick up the body and move him to the outside of this room into the overlook of
Can I help them?
Yeah, you can run up and help carry the body. There's a chair at the top of the stairs that curves around down to the downstairs. As you guys are doing so, the barkeep comes up with a bowl of warm water and garlic and salt dissolved in. He kind of comes up and says, I found this.
I was just gonna say I was just gonna walk away, so I imagine we pass on the stairs and I just shove my way past.
Yeah. He kind of, and as he comes up, he sees you. He's like, I've got these things. You gonna walk past?
Yep.
Oh. Okay. So
I don't know where we're going.
Okay. I'm just gonna leave this here next to this chair. I'm gonna go back to bed. Goes back to bed. Cool. Eirys, at this point, you suffer 1 point of exhaustion.
Okay.
Because it's daybreak of the next day. The sun is beginning to rise. Cool. Let's have some discussions about what you guys want to do at this point, and probably end the session at this point.
All right.
So as the three of you, Ella, Brüz, and Kyro, you place the now unconscious body of the Drow on this small chair at the base, at the top of the stairs on the second story. You have an opportunity to kind of like look around each other. Arthrin walks past you, just goes, "Oh my god," and trundles down the stairs after Eirys. Slip comes out. He leans against the broken wall of this pretty much fully destroyed tavern now. He folds his arms. He goes, "Well, this is fucking awkward."
Slip, go away.
Do you require healing?
Oh, me? No, I'm alright. I'm fine.
Oh, good to know. Brüz pulls out a small piece of paper from the cloak with a bit of charcoal graphite, sort of just writes a small note in common. Says, the number of ways you could have died. You didn't even see that one. Hope you enjoy the rest of your life. Love, Thing 2. And just tucks it into like the pocket.
Okay, so are we letting him go? Because we should probably send him somewhere far away. Maybe.
Yep. Any ideas?
Yeah, can we send him to the temple, do you think?
Is that safe?
I don't know. I mean, he might die on the way.
If I may...
Wait, I'm not here.
Yeah, if I may, putting him anywhere within this city it's his death sentence.
Yeah, exactly.
And if I just might be so bold, young Ella, is it? Ella?
Yes.
You just demonstrated why, respectfully to obviously your traveling companion, you've just demonstrated why it's important that we win. Showing mercy. I mean, I'm a fucking cynic, but that's right there is why we've got to win. You done good. I can deal with this one. It's the man who was sent to fucking kill me. I can't believe it. It's that's ironic, isn't it? I will see to it that he gets out of the city. I know that that's fine. And I know the ways through the sewers to reach the moat around the wall, and I'll be able to take him out. I think for you, though, you need to just keep moving. If you have any idea as to where Anya's being held, he was talking in a language I didn't understand, but he sounded like he was telling you quite a lot.
Oh, he told us a lot.
How do you know?
Comprehend language.
Jeez, very clever.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Have you not met Ella before?
I mean, just today. I mean, I must say I'm impressed.
And does she not strike you as somebody who is very clever?
Well, absolutely. I wasn't doubting it for a moment, my friend.
Thanks, Brüz.
If you focus on getting to where you've been directed to go, I can deal with the rest. I can make sure this one gets out safely. You've convinced me.
Well, we've stabilized him, but...
Brüz pulls another good berry out of his pocket and gives it to Slips.
Yeah,
Slip.
Yeah.
Slip. Gives it to Slip and says, once you require or would like him to be conscious, just gently place this in his mouth and stroke his neck until he swallows it. He should wake up quite quickly.
Don't give him a weapon.
I would say,
away.
though,
Yeah.
you might want to tie him up before he wakes up, as if you're the first person he sees, instincts may kick in, you know.
And make sure he has no weapon, like Kyro said.
I mean, my most important weapon is right here. He holds up his spellbook.
That is true. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That's a very good weapon to have.
I mean, you could probably just give him place a dagger in his hand and leave. He'll get out of his ropes eventually.
That's actually not a bad idea. Anyway, you leave that with me. I think you have a rift to bridge, if you get my meaning. Go on. Go on. Fuck off. Go on. He ushers you guys down the stairs.
Alright.
Brüz stops, scowls at him, goes, "There's no need for impoliteness, young man.
Hey, I just nearly fucking died, man.
Turns very, very slowly while still keeping his head watching.
Like
Shakes his head with almost with a scowl on his sort of face. He just gives a disappointed shake of the head, and then turns to follow Ella back into the room.
So,
So impolite.
meanwhile, I'm very sorry, Nuru. You've been quite.
Yeah, don't worry. She didn't really want any part of that whole scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're gonna do some rats.
Why don't you make another animal handling check for the start of the morning?
All right, time to try to make friends with the rats again. This time, it's significantly better.
Okay.
That is 18.
18. There's a couple that you're able to coax out of the sewer entrance, actually, around the back of the alleyway behind the tavern, a similar place where you found them last time. And they recognize you. What would you like to ask them?
Mm-hmm. I also definitely offer them some of the stuff that you know how before we got here, I
Yes.
went and I got a bunch of like little goodies
Now that you mention
for rats and things.
Yeah.
So I definitely offer them some of that.
They chow down. They are happy.
A veritable rat feast.
Indeed. They happily kind of squeak in your direction.
And after ingratiating myself to them, I start asking about like, do you see people like going about in the sewers, and what's in those sewers? Is there anything like weird that I should know about if I was going to go into the sewers?
I'm not going to try and do voice for mice because
you don't have to.
They tell you that they saw one figure come out of the manhole cover a few hours ago, and you piece together that they're obviously talking about the assassin.
Yeah, and I asked, did he look like this, and describe him to be sure.
Yeah, they confirm it. It's like, yeah, the shadowy guy, leathery armor, a mask over his face. Didn't really get a see of his features. Maybe white hair, didn't really know. But they say that because it was only a couple of hours ago, really, the trail is quite fresh, so they're gonna like follow the trail that he was coming from and do their best to like.
Yeah, like I tell them not to risk their lives or anything, but tell me what you know.
Okay, they don't know anything as of yet, but they can basically do a bit of an investigation to follow that trail before it goes.
And I'll promise like more goodies.
They happily look forward to that and scuttle away happily, ready for a little bit of a game of, no pun intended, cat and mouse.
I just like the idea that the rats are being befriended by the cat.
Yep. Yep.
And so there are these rats running around telling their rat friends about this cool cat that's giving them free food. There's got to be one rat that's like a conspiracy theorist.
It's like, the cat wants to kill us, man.
It's just fattening us up!
You can't trust the cat.
That's right. That's canon, by the way. That's canon. In fact, the next like little like audio bit is just going to be Swiss and me doing rats. Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so that's a great little thing. I'm going to finish off with Eirys and Arthrin. Does anyone else have anything they want to do before that? Okay, going in. Okay.
I did come up with some possible hometown names.
We'll worry about that later.
But we can worry about that later.
Yeah, cool. Thank you for that. All right.
Sorry.
So, that's okay. That's okay. So Eirys has stormed off downstairs. You make your way into the ground floor of this tavern.
And then I've gone outside and I'm just like leant against the wall outside.
Yeah. The early morning sun is floating across. It rises in the east, so actually it's quite brightly shining across the horizon. Actually, you're facing directly towards it. It's rising within your eye line. You can see the walls of the city. You're on a bit of a crest of a hill, so you can see the kind of buildings, some of which are taller than where you're stood, and some of which kind of slope downwards. You can see the wall. You can see the river flowing outwards beyond the kind of valley inside this Trine mountain range, and then the sun shining through the kind of two jaw-like entryways into this valley that you travelled into yesterday. Exhaustion grips your body, and all of the adrenaline, all of the things that you're thinking wreck through your muscles, and the exhaustion works its way into your body. The front door opens. Arthrin closes it behind him and leans on the wall beside you. He doesn't say anything for a little while.
You didn't try to stop me this time.
Who, me?
Hmm.
Too many bodies. You had like Ella, you had Yell, you got Brüz. It was a tiny room.
So you would have done.
Yep. I can understand that you're so angry at these people for taking your family from you. I really, really get that. But if we're just gonna murder them in cold blood, we're no better than them, right?
Do you know what will happen now? Doesn't matter where he goes. Where he hides, the Syndicate will find him. And from his mind they'll pull all of our faces and what we asked him, where we're going, and they'll kill him in a much more painful way than I was going to kill him. He was ready to die, had accepted it, and I was making it painless. And Ella has just damned him. And us.
Do you really believe that?
I know it.
I don't know what to say, Eirys.
Don't say anything. Seems like words are cheap anyway.
Kind of stays beside you for a few more minutes. And he eventually gets up and walks back inside. And with that, we'll end our session for the evening. Well played. Interesting.
Oh.
Lots of stuff to think about.
Eirys is like really negative.
Yeah.
She's a broody rogue. She's got to be negative.
Yeah, like, you don't know. He could get away.
She knows it's Syndicate.
You've gotten away.
Yeah, like
could have an
Is
ally
she really away though?
later.
Not at the moment, but you could be.
Maybe.
If you decided to, I don't know, leave the city.
No, they followed her outside the city.
well, if we fuck shit up for them enough, then maybe they'll be too like.
We'll worry about talking to Eirys later.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, Miss Kellerin is good. I like that. For
names.
For the name of your home. Yeah. Cool. So let's finish the stream there. Well done, everybody. Thank you for watching. Please do not forget.
Thank you for being gods.
Yeah. Do not forget to love each other and have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas. Hope you have a really lovely, restful time.
Merry Christmas, James's mum.
and a happy New Year.
Indeed.
And a blessed Hanukkah and solstice and whatever the heck.
Indeed. Take care.
Happy Krampusmas.
Yes. Farewell.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
All right.
Bye. Bye.